All right, Hondo. The team is acting like it's really ready to kick off as they jump up and down below in a circle. The officials now fan out around the field. Dogs are going to be in red jerseys. For some reason, white pants. They got their red helmets and white numbers. Tech will be all in white with gold pants, gold numbers, gold helmets. Tough numbers to look at, by the way. They always are faded in like that, gold on white. But everybody agrees that the Tennessee numbers are the hardest in the world to see when Tennessee's at home. Georgia will kick off into a little bit of a northeast wind. Kelly Campbell and Jermaine Hatch are the two deep men's for Georgia Tech. Campbell, that real fast wideout. And Kerouac of Georgia will set it up to kickoff. Be interesting to see if the wind is going to bother this kickoff. There are seats still open. There are still people trying to get in. There's a million raincoats here and pieces of raincoats. But I don't think it's raining down below at all, not even a drizzle. And the temperature has gone all the way up to 42. It's that warm. It was 39 this morning in the 8 o'clock hour when we all got here. Dogs will kick off to Tech. 1 point pick'em ball game. Georgia Tech. You think this thing isn't big? Kerouac hits it short, high, trying to pin a man to the sideline. To the 5-yard line is Campbell. They got him over by the sideline. They hit him on a 19 and knocked him out. And Tech, Kentrell Curry was the guy that hit him. One of our backup secondary guys, the first man that hit him. Tech will put it in play back on the 18-yard line with Godsey at quarter and probably Burns and Wilder as the running backs. Tech's offensive line up to the ball. Schmidgall is the center. Godsey underneath. We're in our standard 4-3. Tech's got 4 wideouts, so they got 1 running back. Godsey fakes back to throw. A man's coming on him as he throws incomplete. The man got him. Marcus Stroud got him. He tried to throw it to Watkins on the left. Stroud got an arm on him and yanked him down as he was throwing it. Loran, what do you got?
Larry, you'll notice that the Bulldogs are wearing white pants today. I don't know if you got this word, but the seniors voted to wear white pants in memory of the late Pat Watson, who picked those pants out for the team.
Godsey underneath. Tech now has only 2 wideouts. 1 running back. Godsey back, looks, fake pumps. Throws a long fly pattern. Caught up around the 45 or 6. He faked our corners, and their guy got a step and a half out in front of him, and Nate Curry, a freshman, caught a long pass with a flag back down to the line of scrimmage. Let's see what it was. But the offense was on the Dogs, and Tech will take that 30-yard pass, 25-yard pass.
Penalty is refused. First down.
He did a great pump fake and then threw long, and Tech's receiver had 2 defenders running behind him and had to dive to catch the ball. Field seems to be in very good shape despite all of last night rain, and some of that rain was heavy. Now Tech's in an eye. They average 35.9 a game. That's a lot of points. Dogs come up into a 5-man front. Godsey has one of the receivers move. He goes to the tailback, and we hit him right behind the line. Joe Burns hit by the right side of the defensive line. Maybe a 2-yard loss, or let's see where they mark it. A sophomore. Stroud and Kendall Bell led the charge on the play. Let's see where they're going to put it down. Seymour was there also. Ball is under 44. So Tech passed deep for 25, 26 yards, and then they went off tackle and lost 2 second down. Dogs make a change at a linebacker. Tech 2 wideouts, 1 running back. Godsey underneath. We're in a 5-man front again. Godsey fakes back to throw again. Dumps, man wide open, complete on our 40, and we shove him out. He hit Kelly Campbell down the right side. Threw it right smack on the money. Got about 20 or 21, 22 yards or so. And he's hit 2 passes and has taken Tech all the way to the Georgia 33, and here come the Jackets. Stroud hurt his wrist again. He's been playing with a broken hand, but the cast has been on for a long time. Stroud had to come out. Something wrong with his hand. Tech with a running back up closer. They're on our 33, first down. Receiver in motion. They give it to fullback. He kept it. He faked him. Godsey's running for a touchdown down the right side for Georgia Tech. A great fake to the full. He fooled the Dogs' defense flat-footed, and Godsey did a keeper. Came out to the right, and nobody saw him till he'd gone 10 yards. Godsey ran a little short keeper. The full lined up, slanted in closer like they were going to bang it in there, and we reacted to it. And Tech with finesse and great deployment has got on the board right away. In a minute and a half, they got 6, and the extra point is up, and now they got 7. Beautiful fake by Godsey. Just absolutely a beautiful fake. And Tech leads 7-0. Timeout. Pause for these words on the Georgia.
And on the sideline here, a little report on Marcus Stroud. He has a burner, left shoulder, but he's now riding this stationary bike. I think that's just to keep warm, but he should be able to go back.
All right, thank you, Loran. 82 yards in 6 plays. That scoring drive for Georgia Tech. George Godsey completing 2 passes for 51 yards and then running for 33 more on the option for the score. Took just 1 minute and 36 seconds for Tech to get on the board. 7-0 Yellow Jackets.
Godsey hit 2 medium-length passes and then ran a long keeper and just caught us flat-footed. Monge kicks off for Tech. High, booming ball, really high around the 5. And young Thornton takes it to the 15 of the 20. Gets hit real hard up around the 23 or 24. Well, Dogs, you're going to have any offense now today? Tech has already shown you what they can do with a brilliant-looking quarterback and great finesse and a great play call. They fooled us so flat-footed you can't believe it. On the 23, we will be first down. Tech in a 4-man defensive front. Corey Phillips, quarterback, has got us in an eye with 2 wideouts. Tech's in a tight 4-3, close to a 6 or 7-man line. Corey underneath, going to hand to the tail. Moose at right tackle and got about 4 quick yards. Hit by Darrell Smith, a freshman from Albany, inside middle linebacker who was a highly recruited kid. And that play moved almost 5 up to the 28. Musa went to the right for 5 yards. Now we slot 2 men left. We're in an eye again. Tech's in an unbalanced 4-3 setup. The linebackers again are pretty close. And a quick handoff. There's a little hole at the guard, and Musa shot in there, and I think he got 3.5. And Smith, the linebacker, again hit him, and Brown, Arthur Brown, another linebacker, hit him. And the ball is up on the 32. So Musa went to the 28. And Musa went to the 32, and now we're 3rd down and a short yard. But Tech leads 7-0 with a brilliantly executed play by the quarterback. Boy, did they score quick. Tech's in a close 4-3 again. Dogs in an eye. 2 wideouts. 3rd down the air. Tech's bringing everybody up. Musa, no room there. They just knocked him back. Their left side of their line just knocked us back. We got nothing. Tech brought up at least 7 and had corners coming up also. And knocked us backwards to the 32. They'll put it down technically as really only about a foot loss. It's 4th down, and Tech now is loading up the middle. Let's see if they're going to come back, and they're going to load up and come after the kicker. Kelly Rhino will be the deep man for Tech. Kilgo going to punt. High spiral, long ball. Rhino takes it, and he fumbled the ball. There's a flag down. Watch the flags. Oh, there's a lot of flags. We had a man running awfully close to the guy trying to catch it. We sent a man down after the punter, after the kick returner.
Harry, I think they're saying that Kelly Rhino called for a fair catch at the last second. Is that it?
I don't know. Let's see. Dogs almost hit him as he was going to catch the ball. Rhino stuck his arm up. Now what are they going to say? 5-yard penalty?
Non-contact. 5 yards. Interference. First down.
5-yard interference. Our first guy down was maybe brushing his arm. He dropped the ball. He had another one of his teammates back into him. Jermaine Phillips was a guy that almost hit everybody. And that really hurt.
Yeah, looking at the replay, Phillips gave him at least 1.5 yards. It's questionable whether he got 2 yards there. But
now watch Tech's offense again. We're up in a 5 again. Tech brings a wide receiver in motion left to right. Gotze wants to pass. Gotze throws. And we intercept it on the 45 and out of bounds. Jamie Henderson. That receiver tried to go deep on that far side in front of the Tech bench. Nate Curry. And he went a little too deep. And the Dogs intercept, and the Dogs get the ball back. First big turnover. We will be on the Tech 44. 11:07. Tech leads 7-0 with one of the smoothest looking operators you've seen in a long time at the quarterback. Georgia on the Georgia Tech 44, trailing 7-0. The rain has stopped, but it's still a very, very cold 41 degrees. 2 wide outs and an I. Tech's in that 4-3, almost a 4-4. Corey going to fake the pass. They blitz him, and he fumbled the ball. And Tech's got the ball. They didn't see him coming. Corey Collins, the strong safety, came off the corner and hit him blindsided in the back. The ball popped out of his hands. And Tech has caused us to fumble. Here we had just come up with a turnover, and Tech gets it right back. We never saw that blitz coming in.
Ricardo Wimbish recovered the fumble for Tech. And now the Jackets are back in business on our 47, Larry.
Tech acting like they're going to jump us hard like they did last year. 2 wide outs, 2 tight ends keep in motion. Got a man running, go to the tail up the middle, and he pulled through to the 42. Got 5, I believe. Seymour grabbed him. Joe Burns banging it up the middle for Tech. Tech in white and gold, the Dogs in red and white. You believe that? You get an interception and a chance. And Tech just simply figured out what we were going to do and blitz that safety off the corner. You talk about finesse. I've used that word 3 times now. Burns got 5 right up the gut on us. Myers and Campbell are slotted right. The fullback Wilder shifts over behind the tackle. Gotze going to hand to the tailback, and he's got a big hole, and he fights. He got loose for a moment. He got about 8 yards and a first down to our 33. Tech's moving the ball, acting very much like we will never stop them. Marcus Stroud was part of that last tackle, but Tech has come right back down to our 34, and they're about to knock on the door again. Burns broke 2 or 3 tackles on that play, by the way. Tech in white. 3 wideouts and an I. Campbell and Curry are the deep wideouts, but they've got a slot man left with them this time. Gotze, long count, drops back and looks, and he throws a long pass out of bounds over on the far side, incomplete. Tech leads 7-0. Tech at this moment dominating us offensively. We ran a couple plays and got 9 yards, and then they knocked us down. And we had to kick to them. We turn around and get an interception on a poorly thrown ball, and then we fumble immediately on a blindsided sack. 3 wideouts. Gotze now is in a shotgun for Tech. They're on our 34. This is about where they scored from the other time. One of the slot men in motion. Tech takes a snap on a shotgun. Gotze's protected. Throws complete right over the middle. We dive and miss, and then we get him around a 31. Will Glover, the wide receiver. Kendrell Bell was the guy that got him. And the pass was probably only about 3 yards. At one time he had 5 or 6, but he angled back. Ball is inside of the 31. It's 3rd down. Georgia Tech leads 7-0. This is going to be apparently the hardest test put on our defense all year. Yes, even more than Florida. 4 wideouts. Shotgun Tech. 3rd down. 6.5. He throws over the middle. Man wide open, complete. We hit him and knock him back. What kind of a spot will decide the first down? Glover caught a ball for 6.5 yards. He may have made it, and he may have missed it. Kendall Bell hit him first. Where are they going to spot the ball? It's just outside of our 24. It might be 4th and an inch. No, they're going to have to measure. Tech can go and only get a couple of inches, or Tech can kick a field goal, whatever they want to do. The point remains is that Tech is very hard to stop, and the Dogs' defense right now cannot stop them. 7-0, Georgia Tech leading. About 5 inches, the referee says. Tech is just inside our 25, just outside of the 24. Tech is going to just bang it in there, apparently, and try to get the first down. Now, this is a very fourth-time finesse football team. They're going to fake it up the gut and slip it quickly outside. They line up fast. We bring people up very quickly. Tech's in a power with everybody in close, nobody outside. And they hit the full, and he bounces outside, and we hit him, but he got a yard. Joe Burns. They ran a fake middle, and they ran Burns slanting outside of the right tackle. Bieron Phillips hit him, but he got the first down. We needed inches, and he got a yard and a fraction close to our 23-yard line. He slanted way wide. Our whole secondary was up behind the line of scrimmage on that play.
Well, that was a good example there of the running back going where the bodies weren't, Larry. Rather than following his blocks where it was clogged up, Joe Burns saw the daylight to the tackle and rolled out there for the first down.
Godsey looks at our defense. We're in a 5, close to a 6. Godsey brings one of his receivers in. He's back to throw. Right over the middle, complete. And we'll hit him down around the 12. They've got a man coming across the line about 6 yards over the middle. He hit Will Glover again. Tim Wansley had to hit him. Tech is just marching this thing down the field like we were Wake Forest or Maryland or somebody. Ball is on the 12. Tech's offense at this moment is brilliant to watch. They lead 7-0, and they are within seconds or inches or whatever of getting another one. They're on our 12. We've already had one break and couldn't use it. Underneath, gives to the running back. We meet him on the 12.5 and knock him back as he tries slant right. Joe Burns got hit. Tony Gilbert, one of the first men, a linebacker on the play. Georgia Tech will be second and about 10, just inside the 12. He gained a foot. We're in the middle of the first quarter. Tech is playing ball control and possession on us. Tech is keeping the ball and controlling the time. Tech, 2 tight ends again, 2 wideouts. Godsey takes it. He's back looking. Dumps it in the right flat, complete, and we knock him out of bounds right away around the 9 or the 8. Just dumped it out here on the right side near the flat. Went to Matt Vay, the tight end, and picked up about 3 or 3.5 yards. Officials bring it in and put it in on the 8. Third down. Tech on our 8-yard line, and it's 7-0 already. And if something big doesn't happen pretty soon on defense, we've already had an interception and couldn't do it. Now they spread receivers all over the field on 3rd down and 6. They are on the Dogs' 8. First quarter, Godsey back. Godsey throws, touchdown. He was open. Slanted off to his left. We could not stop that play at all. He hit Kerry Watkins. Little 8-yard strike. And Tech is acting like they might score 150. They are just absolutely dissecting our defense. Luke Mangier will come in and try the extra point. It's already 13-0. We cannot stop them. Godsey's too good. The kick is up and the kick is good, and it's 14-0. This is just like last year's game at the beginning.
Kerry Watkins, 8 yards for the touchdown. That caps Tech's 2-minute, 57-second scoring drive. Loran Smith on the sidelines. Loran's been hung up, and now Tech's getting ready to line it up to kick it off for the Dogs, who trail Georgia Tech 14-0 here early in the first quarter.
And never did we think they would make it look so easy. If you told me they were going to strike for a long one, I would agree with you. But as Warren, one of the spotters, just pointed out, we do not have the deep, sudden, quick strike in our offense as we used to have. You can't suddenly throw it 75 yards to somebody and get back in a game. The offense is not that way this year. Manjay kicks off again for Tech. Very high, enough to get you in trouble. Thornton, 7-yard line. 15, 17. Really hit on the 18 or 19 very hard. Tech is just fired up. They know they're in control of this thing, and they are sensing that it might be easy. Now, those words sound strange, I understand, but you have to realize I'm sitting here looking at one whale of a quarterback in Godsey. Dogs now are on their own 19. Now, these guys going to fool us again and go a blind side blitz off a corner again and break our quarterback in half. We're on our own 19, and we're 14 points behind. This game has started just like last year, only this one has looked more scary, frankly. Phillips fakes, bootlegs, throws on a run, complete to a big tight end up on the 30, up to the 41. Big Javaris Johnson. Corey bootleg out left and hit the big tight end.
That was a play out of Vince Dooley's old playbook, Larry, the old waggle pass. Remember that?
Yeah.
James Jackson and Greg Talley used to run that really well.
It'll be a first down on the 41. Dogs in red, Tech in that white and yellow, and Tech in control of the game this early, 14-0. We slide out to the right. One running back, and that's Musa. Corey back to pass. Looks. Going to throw a fly pattern, and the receiver quit running, and it went 20 yards over his head down the left side. Randy McMichael. Loran, what do you got?
Well, I was just going to say, back to the Tech offense for a second. Their offensive line really has been smooth those first two drives. So now what Georgia needs to do is come back right here on offense. The offensive line of Georgia should dominate Tech a little bit better than they have thus far. Get a touchdown up, and that tightens it up a lot.
Well, we need 7 points. Frankly, we need them now. One wide out only. Two tight ends. Corey Phillips fakes. Throws a screen, and he misses Sanks wide open out on the right side on a 45-yard line. But they were blitzing Corey. He was in bad trouble, 10 yards behind the line, kind of curling out wide right. Nick Rogers, the defensive end, really had pressure on him, and he couldn't throw the ball under that kind of pressure. 3rd and 10. So we missed fire on a couple of passes. Tech leads 14-0. 6:23. They look absolutely unstoppable so far. Now we're in a shotgun. 3 wideouts. 2 backs back there with him. He fires over in the right flat. It is complete. And they hit the receiver 2-3 times. LeBron Mitchell before they knock him down around a 47 or 8. About a 6-yard gain or so, but not enough. We're going to have to kick it away. We're getting beat 14-0. In the moment we started to throw, we got in trouble. Ball up on the 48 almost. It'll be 4th down and 4. And Kilgo will have to punt. And Kelly Rhino, a sophomore, will be the safety man for Tech. Snap was good, and a kick is a good wobbly spiral. And he's got it on the 19. Flag down again. What do we got called now? Did we run too close again? What did we got? One of our players, Jermaine Phillips, is acting like there's going to be a penalty on Tech. We had a man covering down there really close to the receiver. Jermaine Phillips. Officials are still discussing it. Dogs acting like Tech's going to draw a penalty here. There's a flag down on the 22. 5 officials are talking about it. 2 others are standing down there. One right on top of the flag. They're still discussing this thing. He gambled. Got an illegal block in the back. That's what all that is about. Just an illegal block in the back. And a penalty from that spot, however, is going to back Tech down to the 12.
The block in the back on the return team. 10 yards. first down.
I think they probably blocked Jermaine Phillips on the back after he ran right by that ball coming down.
We have an ACC crew calling the game today, Larry. So far, total offense, Georgia Tech, 129 yards and 28 for Georgia.
Boss of these words.
George Godsey threw that interception. It broke a string of 132 consecutive passes without an interception by Godsey when Jamie Henderson picked it off. Could use another one here.
Godsey with a slot right, 2 backs in. Now the back shift, 1 behind the tackle. Burns still deep. He goes to Burns. He slants outside of the right. He got bumped and went down, but he got all the way up to about the 16. They had lined up on a 12. And Demetric Evans was the one who got his feet out from under him on the 15 and a half. Mallard and Evans are both in at defensive end now. Jacobson, Sullivan are in the middle. The gain was about 3, 2nd and 7. Tech down on their own 15. Hatch is the running back instead of Burns. Hatch is the tail now. 2nd down. Godsey give to Hatch again. Try to turn and cut back, and he did. And he might have a first down on the 22. Hatch coming out right toward his right tackle. Turn to go back inside. Vieira had to hit him. He got a first down on the play. He got 7.5 or 8 yards. Tech running with a giant offensive line, but not as big as what we've seen around the conference because they've got 2 guys at only 275 in that offensive line. Ball up on the 23. Tech gets a first down. After a penalty for an illegal block, they had been back on their 12. Tech, 1 running back. Burns is back in the lineup. Godsey underneath their first down. Godsey fakes back to pass, fires, man wide open down the middle, and we hit him on about the 47. A quick 20-yarder. Cap Burnett had to hit Russell Matvey, the big tight end. He was wide open running down the middle, and Tech's coming right down the field again. Acting and looking unstoppable. Ball put on a 46. Tech leads 14-0, and they've still got time to get another one before the quarter ends. They are eating our lunch. They split 2 men wide, right and left, 1 running back. Godsey fakes, coming to the right to throw. Godsey, as we come on him, throws a long bomb, and there he is. And he dropped the ball on the 5, or he would have scored a touchdown. They broke a receiver deep, Kelly Campbell, and he dropped the ball, turning back to look at that ball, or they would have had an easy touchdown. They act very much, might be a flag back here on the play, or is it?
It's been out there.
Oh. No, Dick Payne says that's just a yellow flag that's been on the field.
It's a piece of something yellow
tape,
back there. Man, are they scoring easy. He dropped a cinch wide open touchdown on a 50-yard strike. Tech 2nd down on their own 46. They're just manhandling us. 4 wideouts. Long count this time by the Tech quarter. Runs the option. Pitches to Burns, who got out for 10 yards, got 15 and a first down. A real quick option pitch. Kendrell Bell had to hit him. Tech is just chewing on us and probably grinning ear to ear inside. They are on our 39 first down. Kendrell Bell hurt his arm or wrist. Kendrell Bell comes out, and Hollenshed comes in. Millard comes back into that defensive line. Sullivan comes out. Tech first down on our 39, knocking on the door again. Godsey with 1 back. Burns takes it, hands to Burns, right tackle. We closed the hole, but he got down to the 35. He got 4 yards. Hollenshed hit him. Tony Gilbert was the 2nd man, another linebacker that hit him. Going to be about 2nd and 6. Tech is just moving us off the ball, catching the secondary flat-footed, and they lead 14-0, and it looks so easy. 2 wideouts. Tight ends flip-flop for the first time. Godsey on 2nd and 6. Hands to the tailback, and he broke 2 tackles, and he drives at the 25. Joe Byrne just knocking red shirts upside down. Wansley and Burnett had to catch him. They are really making this thing look easy. This is worse than the start of last year. They jumped us once last year by 17. And look where they are now. They're on the 24. It's going to be worse than 17 in a minute unless something happens. They're breaking tackles now because they're too strong and too big for us. At least that's what they're making it look like. 3 wideouts and an eye. Godsey underneath. They are on our 24. 14-0. Godsey gives it to the tail. We hit him in the hole. A little quick shot for 2 yards. Jermaine Hatch, who has alternated twice now with Joe Burns at the tail. Hatch shot in the hole. We got a man hurt, I believe. Seymour down. Man, you don't need that. We're still missing those 5 guys that we've missed all year long, and now we got Seymour down. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Tech leading 14-0. Have they got a big, I guess they have. I started to say, I know they got a lot of yardage at the moment.
Yeah, they're up over 170 now, Larry.
They really look smooth, don't they, huh?
They have got it rolling, and you can see why these guys are second in the ACC in total offense behind Florida State. George Godsey, Kelly Campbell, Joe Burns, all of them, as you look at the ACC rankings, they rank 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in most every category. And that's with the great offense that Clemson's had this year. And, of course, the kid at NC State who was doing so well, and the receiver up there, Corin Robinson. It's not as though that conference is devoid of talent. And Florida State with its multiple players, but Georgia Tech has just been racking it up. George Godsey with 4 games of 300 yards passing or more, 1 game of over 500 yards. Their numbers are just astonishing the last 3 games. And you can see what they're doing. The real key to all this has been their offensive line, because they lost a couple of guys, and they thought that they were really going to be rebuilding and weren't sure how good they would be. And then Chris Brown at a tackle and Brent Key at a guard have been the real key for them, and opening up these holes and providing them with all the interior strength they needed to rack up the numbers this year.
Seymour's up in a sitting position, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to go back in anytime soon. They get him up now. Now he starts to jog off. Rutgers leading Syracuse 7-0 in the first on the Atlanta Journal-Constitution scoreboard. All right, Tech is 2nd down and 9 on our 23. They've already got 14 points. Godsey is unbelievably smooth and sharp, and he's a big 6'2 kid, a little over 200. He's in a shotgun now, 3 wideouts. 2nd down and 9. Godsey fakes, comes out to the right, wide open, throws on a run outside, out of bounds to the receiver, Glover, and we had him covered around the 11-yard line. He came out to the short side. He faked us again like he did on a touchdown run, and we had nobody there with him when he rolled over to the right. Wansley had his hand on that last ball, but he and the receiver were out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Godsey's already got a 14-0 lead. Now they're all in close. Now they shift. And the 4 receivers are split out, but they're not real far. Godsey's in a shotgun. 3rd and 9. Takes it and drops back. And dumps to a man wide open on the 20, and we come up and hit him and knock him down on the 21 or 2. Kerry Watkins. Ball will be spotted close to the 20. They got about a 3-yard pass right over the middle. It'll be 4th down. They'll go for a field goal, I'm sure. This can duplicate the margin they had on us last year, 17 points. Jamie Henderson was the first guy on that last tackle. Luke Manget sophomore for Conyers, will be trying a field goal here. And watch it, we had a total mix-up along the offensive and the defensive lines. Flags down. Part of Tech moved, part of Georgia moved. The Dogs on one corner of the line, I thought were moving first.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards.
5-yard penalty on Tech on the offense. Georgia fans cheer the 5-yard penalty. You know why? There's nothing else to cheer. Ball comes back. They put it back out on the 25.5, where it's 4th down now, 4th and 11. Dogs would love to block this thing. They can't. There's a long Manget kick. Kick is good, and Tech leads 17-0 with only 58 seconds left to go in the quarter. Hey. Loran, what do you got?
Richard Seymour looks like he's okay. Just got his bell rung, but this game is too big for him to sit. He'll go back.
All right, that's good news.
Larry, one of the surprising things in the game so far has been Georgia has done a pretty good job on first down against Tech. We saw Tech in second and long early, but they've just been able to light it up with big plays on second and long. And there we saw them on third and long, and Georgia able to shut them down. Tech leads the ACC with a 49.7 third down conversion rate. So good for the Dogs there as they stop the Jackets and hold them to 3 as we look for that glimmer of good news here in a 17-0 game.
Oh, no. Godsey looks like he's handling our secondary, doesn't he? He's just looking for places to dump that ball. Tech will kick off again. Less than a minute left, but the temperature has warmed up all the way to 43. And we haven't had rain now for quite some time. Manche will kick off for Tech. They lead 17-0. They've got 1,000,000 yards. And they are controlling the ball and the ball game and the ball clock and the scoreboard ball. Tech kicks off high and short. And Thornton runs up, takes it on the 15-yard line. That's not Thornton this time. It's Damian Gary. And Gary trying to break through left and right and couldn't pull his leg away and went down on the 25. He was darting back and forth. Damian Gary. We had changed our deep man on that side of the field. It has been Thornton standing over there, and Tech has been kicking it to him.
Nice tackle by Kearon Fox, who's a freshman linebacker for Tech. He's one of those linebackers that Tech cut last year that a lot of people wanted to take out of Atlanta in the state of Georgia, and Tech nabbed him.
Yeah, they're full of Georgia players. Warren and I were sitting here counting them. 2 wideouts, a tight end standing up. Corey Phillips going to hand it off to Musa, and 3 white jerseys hit him and knock him back 4 yards. Led by Philippe Claybrooks, the end. Tony Robinson, the tackle. Couldn't block on the left side of the line. First 2 plays we ran today with Musa, we got chunks of yardage, but since then Tech has just shut it down. It's now second down, a short 11 to go. 17-0 Tech leads. The scary thing about the scoreboard is you figure it's going to keep moving. Tech in a 4-3, shotgun. Corey Phillips looking right over the middle, complete to a man sitting down. McMichaelson, no, yes, up on the 39 and a first down. McMichael's caught it sitting down. And they stop the clock at the moment with 1 second. And now the quarter ends. For a moment they had it stopped. That'll be the end of the quarter. Tech leads 17-0. Dogs just got a first down.
That's a big one. Second 15 minutes set to unfold here in Athens. Kim, the first quarter for Georgia has been a problem all year. It's the worst offensive quarter of the year and their worst defensive quarter. This second quarter is their best offensive and defensive quarter of the season.
Well, unless Georgia Tech gets too comfortable with that 17-0 first quarter lead. Remember, against Ole Miss, they jumped out in front of Georgia here early in that ball game, 14-0.
Yep.
Georgia came back and really put it on them. So a lot of football to be played, and certainly I'm sure Tech, George O'Leary and his coaches and players are aware of that. So as you point out, Georgia gets in gear. Phillips is a slow starter. He's not the kind of guy that really exudes a lot of confidence early in the ball game, but as he proved against Ole Miss, throwing that interception for a touchdown for Ole Miss, and then against Auburn, it takes him a while to really click. So Georgia's got plenty of weapons, and as we mentioned, plenty of football left to play for both these teams.
17-0 in favor of the Yellow Jackets as we start quarter number 2. Scoreboard here has the temperature, and it's 43 degrees, and it's been right there most of the day. The rain is, it looks for the most part, if it's drizzling, it's very little, if that. I think most of that rain is moved out, but the dark overcast skies still hang in here at Sanford Stadium in Athens. Bulldogs have it at the 38-yard line. 13 yards was the pass play. Corey Phillips to Randy McMichael. Terrence Edwards goes to the left. Mitchell and Gary here to the right. Phillips will work from a shotgun on first down and 10. Start of the second quarter is a play action to Smith. They'll flip it out in the flat, and here is Edwards. Good block by Gary, and then Edwards is run out of bounds here on the near side by Clark and Ather Brown, as LeBron Mitchell really threw a block out there to try and free Terrence Edwards.
Play by number 18, Damian Gary.
Or Damian Gary, I should say.
Wes, the gain itself wasn't that much, only 3 yards, but Georgia's fans got pretty happy with a block they saw out there on the corner, and Tech played it pretty well.
Gary will go to the far side. Both McMichael and Johnson, the tight ends, are off the formation. That takes Nick Rogers and drops him into space. Phillips from a shotgun on 2nd and 7. There's another one to Gary out there on the left. He steps out of one tackle and will be pushed out of bounds into Tech territory at the 48-yard line. Ather Brown, Corey Collins over there against Damian Gary.
A lot of cushion out there on the outside, and Tech was playing off. Wimbush tried to get out there and make the tackle, but Gary got away from him, got on the sideline, out of bounds. Another first down in Tech territory.
So Georgia moving into Tech territory without a turnover for the first time today. Brings Damian Gary here to the right. Terrence Edwards lines up almost as an H-back to the left. He'll now come in motion to the wide side. Smith, the lone running back, play action to him. Phillips looking, throws, and it is incomplete. Intended for Terrence Edwards.
Oh, they're going to throw a late flag.
Here comes a marker down on Collins.
Well, that flag came in there late, Wes. A little bumping. I'm not so sure that pass gets caught. It's a angle we got here. Doesn't look like it's a catchable pass, but official's going to call pass interference. We'll see it on the replay and see whether or not, yeah, I guess he could. I guess he was up in the field. So Tech's going to be penalized pass interference.
That'll move the ball to about the 33-yard line. 34-yard line, depending on the step off. Ron Cherry and his crew with umpire Clark Gaston, head linesman Sam Stevenson. Told you Dr. Ernie Benson's the line judge. The side judge is Watts Key. Field judge Jerry McGee.
Pass interference on the defense. 15 yards for a step.
Ball will be moved to the 33. The back judge today is Doug Rhodes.
15-yard penalty, first down by virtue of the penalty. First and 10, Georgia.
Early stages, quarter number 2. It's 17-0 in favor of Georgia Tech.
Yeah, there was contact, Wes. That was a good call. I'll just saw it on the replay here. Good call by the official.
Tommy Hunt, the supervisor of ACC officials, is here today at the ball game for this 95th meeting. Tight end in motion is Johnson from left to right. Corey Phillips, first down give. Musa Smith right up the middle and spun right around. At about the 31 by Merrick's Watson. Smith's been held in check. That's his 5th carry of the day and 11 yards.
Tackle was led by Watson.
But he is a load. They say 6'1", 208. He looks bigger than that when he puts the gear on.
He's been their best runner this year and been injured a lot. He comes out of the ball game, and they're going to put Milligan in. But he's been the guy that they've really had a little success with late in the season.
Mitchell and Gary will come here to the near side. Terrence Edwards to the far side. Sanks and Milliken flanked to either side of Phillips, who will work from a shotgun. Snap to him. Tech's bringing the blitz. Phillips has to hurry. Throws, and that's caught. Damian Gary off his shoe tops at the 16-yard line. 15-yard gain before Darrell Smith, who was pressuring Phillips, forced the early pitch, and Myers makes the stop on Gary. Good play by Corey Phillips.
No question about it. Tech had the blitz on. They brought the safety that time, Corey Phillips, but Phillips was able to get the ball up and throw the ball that time. Gary made a nice catch low. First down, Georgia.
Prior to this possession, Georgia had only had 8 plays of offense. This is their 8th play of this drive now. 16 total offensive plays for the Bulldogs. Gary to the left, pair of tight ends to the right. I formation, they'll give it to Musa Smith, and he's turned around at the 16 for no gain. Maybe a step to the 15 before Ricardo Wimbush makes the stop. Kim, Tech has been outstanding to date in this ball game against the run.
So far, they have shut the run down for Georgia. Georgia came in the game. I think they felt like they could knock Tech back and run it inside. But if you look at what has turned this team around, Wes, they talk about the offense.
Right.
The last 4 games, Georgia Tech's defense has only averaged giving up 326 yards and only 15 points a game. They've been outstanding.
2 to the right, 1 to the left for Phillips, who again operate from his shotgun. Looks left right away. Throws. That's caught. Terrence Edwards at the 9-yard line, and then he is pushed back by 3 white shirts headed by East Coweta's Chris Young.
Coverage by Young.
Now they give him the 8 or the 9. We'll wait and see, but Terrence Edwards on the receiving end. Corey Phillips is now in this drive. Hit his last 2 in a row, and he's 5 out of 6. ball is inside the 9. It'll be 3rd down. Let's call it a long 2 and give them the 8. Georgia's first 3rd down of the drive. They're 0 for 2 today. Milliken is the deep eye. Single receivers, and now Phillips needs a timeout. The play clock was at 6 seconds. And Georgia's asked for a timeout. So Corey Phillips will come to the near side and visit with 5th-year head coach Jim Donovan. And we'll take Kim King, West Durham at Sanford Stadium in Athens. Engineer, producer Miller Pope's here. Al Seraldo Jr. And Tommy Barber, who was featured, Kim, this week in a television piece with Georgia spotter Dick Payne. Tell you what, Tommy's been around this ball game, this 26th? 29th? Holy Moses.
He's older than I am. I'm going to get his autograph.
I won't like a publicity shot. We welcome you back. Georgia Tech took a commanding lead, 17-0, through 1 quarter of play, and Georgia, Kim, has mounted their best drive so far of the ball game here, and they've got it 3rd down and 2 at the Tech 8, or inside the Tech 9, for a key down now for Jim Donovan.
They've started this drive from their 25-yard line in 8 plays, and they've gotten it down in scoring position. And Corey Phillips, Georgia's quarterback, has been key on some of his passing on this drive. The running game for Georgia has not been there today. Tech's been able to control it so far.
Now the Bulldogs with 4 receivers. The tight end McMichael, the tight end Johnson are the wide guys. Phillips will work from under center with Milliken behind him as the only setback. A lot of ground to cover. They'll give it to Milliken. He's got the first down. So they shoot Milliken. They spread those big fellas out and then shoot Milliken right up the gut to about the 6, and that's enough for the first down.
Well, good running by Brett Milligan, the senior that time, right off the left side, and Georgia had everybody spread out and got good blocking from that offensive line. A first down for Georgia.
Hold on, though. This might not be as obvious as we think, but it looks like it's going to be 1st and goal. I can't imagine that Milliken didn't make it, and he did.
First down, Georgia.
So with 11:59 to go, it's 1st and goal for Georgia, just outside the Tech 5. Tell you what, Milliken's a great story, Kim. He's had a nice senior year. Young man's deserve it. He's kind of come and gone through their rushing core and actually played a lot of football for them in betwixt. Reggie Kuhn has come in with Clay Brooks. Tech's in the goal line 5. Here's the give. This is Musa Smith. Oh, my heavens. He ran right into the arms of Nick Rogers and Darrell Smith and lost some yardage. Tech pushed him back toward the 6 to where it is now 2nd and goal. Let's call it a loss of 1 to the 6. And now the Jackets turn some more personnel over with 11:28 and counting in this first half in a 17-0 game.
He actually lost the yard back to that 6, so Tech's defense doing the job up front.
Georgia, I'm sorry, Kim, Georgia making their 40th trip into the red zone. They've got 35 scores, 25 touchdowns, 10 field goals, and 2 turnovers. Here is Phillips rolling back to the right. He's going to throw to the end zone. Overshoots his man. The intended receiver was the tight end McMichael. It's incomplete.
Good pressure by Gathers that time on Phillips and forced him to throw the ball going away from the line of scrimmage. That usually indicates the quarterback is going to throw the ball high, and that's exactly what he did. Give Gathers credit.
Gathers chased Phillips off the angle. Tell you what, Tech had Darrell Smith, Jamar Clark maybe closer to the ball than McMichael. 3rd down and goal for Georgia. 17-0 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. 11 minutes even to go in the first half. Damian Gary with Terrence Edwards to the left. McMichael off the formation to the left. Here's Johnson moving back to the right. Single back is Musa Smith. Here's Phillips looking to pass. Throws. Incomplete. Intended for Javaris Johnson. Jamar Clark was there, and now it's 4th and goal for Jim Donnan. They're 1 of 4 on 3rd down, and they're going to ask Billy Bennett, the freshman from here in Athens, who was named to a Rivals.com freshman All-America team, to come on and cover the rest. Bennett has missed just 1 field goal this year, 12 out of 13.
Keith Fox in there defending as well, the freshman linebacker.
For Billy Bennett, they're going to measure it right at 28 yards. 23 yards, snap, kick is away, and it's good. Wasn't pretty. Dontra Clements had a hard time getting that snap down, but Georgia's on the board. It's 17-3 with 10:49 to go in the first half here in Athens. Back after this on the Georgia Tech. Kelly Campbell and Jermaine Hatcher deep. Remember, they let Campbell touch it the first time. His return was really only about 13 yards. 17-3 with 10:49 to go first half. Kerouac's kick, high end over end, marker down, offside on Georgia. Campbell from the 13, Kelly 30, and he'll be stacked up there. All right, Coach King, if you're Tech, you wave off the offsides, you want him to kick it again.
Well, based on that kick, I think I'd take the kick over. Campbell really didn't have anything set up there. It was a short kick, and if I'm George O'Leary, I think about, no, they're going to wave it off on the sideline. So they'll take the ball up at the 30.
Kelly Campbell gets up off the bottom of about 9 red shirts. I think Georgia's not going to give Campbell a chance to come to Burnham on a return.
There's a flag on the kickoff.
Tech will take over, 1st and 10 at its 30 with 10:37 to play in this opening half.
Encroachment on the kicking team. The penalty is declined. First down.
So the Jackets go to work from the 30. 10:37 to go first half. 17-3 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Glover to the far side, Campbell to the near side, and Burns the lone setback behind 2 tights. Seymour's back in there, by the way, for Georgia defensively in a 5-man front. They bring Witherspoon, the linebacker, up on an edge. Play action to Burns on first down. Godsey throwing, timing route in and out of the hands of Campbell with Wansley covering at the 43. Kelly just took his eye off of it, it looked like, as it arrived, and 2nd down and 10.
That's the second one, Wes, that he's dropped today. The other one on Tech's field goal drive, when he had everybody beat, couldn't hold the ball down inside the 5-yard line. That time he ran an out pattern in front of Wansley. He was wide open, but he looked like he took his eyes off that one. Ball was perfectly thrown.
Boy, Georgia's shuffling guys in and out as Tech breaks the huddle. Jackets with 2nd down and 10. 4-receiver package, delay. Burns looking for room. Joe finds a seam and scrambles for about 3 to the 33. They may mark it for just a couple. Jonathan Robertson, a freshman from Griffin, by way of Hargrave Military Academy, makes the stop.
Pretty good move by Burns. Looked like he was dead back there in the backfield, but he was able to get back upfield, get some positive yardage, although a short gain. Pretty good move by him.
I said Robertson, it's Sullivan. 2nd down 8, 3rd down 8 for Tech at its 32. 9:57 to go in this opening half. Godsey spreads the field with 4 receivers. Snap to him. Goose looks, up in the pocket, now throws. That's caught. First down. Here goes Glover into Georgia territory to the Bulldog 42-yard line.
And give George Godsey credit, Wes. Nobody was open. He pulls the ball down like he knows he's got to run it. And as he's going upfield a little bit, he sees Glover underneath that's open, makes a perfect throw across his body, and Glover outruns the tacklers, gets a big first down, gets in Georgia territory.
26 yards to the Bulldog 42. Burns lines up as a only setback, and now we get a timeout called by Ron Cherry. Georgia's running players all over the place, and the Bulldogs finally have to call a timeout. 9:28 to play. Georgia will have 1 timeout to go in this first half. Tech 17, the Bulldogs 3, and we're back after this. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution scoreboard. He'll also take a look at Tech basketball from last night. Jackets winning big by 31 over Davidson. We're in Iowa on Tuesday night for the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Campbell left, Glover right, Burns the short back. Just 3-4 yards behind Godsey with 2 tight ends. Godsey on a long count. And now a marker comes down. It might be on Chris Brown, the left tackle.
No, it's going to be on the left end that time.
On Fasci.
On Fasci, he moved a little bit, and I think 5-yard penalty against Tech.
To the snap, false start on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still have first down.
Ball back at the Bulldog 47 now for 1st and 15. 9:28 to go first half. 17-3 in favor of the Yellow Jackets here at Sanford Stadium in Athens. Hatch has come in behind Burns now with 3 receivers. 2 to the far side, Watkins, Campbell, and Glover. The 3 package, here's the toss. This is Hatch running left. Jermaine runs away from the diving tackle of Tony Gilbert and is finally pushed out by Wansley, Phillips, and Bell here at the 45. Just a pickup of a couple on a little toss to Jermaine Hatch into the boundary at 2nd down 13.
Well, pretty good defense by Georgia that time. Tried to power sweep on the left side, but Georgia just wouldn't let Hatch turn the corner. Picked up a couple, and that's about it.
Kim, Georgia's using some numbers downstairs on the sideline to signal in what they want done defensively against Tech. Their way of trying to thwart the various formations, I'm sure, out of Ralph Region's offense. 4 receivers with Burns alone setback on 2nd and 13. Play action. Here's Godsey back across the middle. That's caught, and that's Glover inside the 35 to the 34. He'll be a couple of yards shy of a first down. Witherspoon makes the tackle. Great move by Glover, who's kind of, Kim, become the forgotten man out of Tech's receiving corps the last 4 or 5 games.
Well, they're working the middle on the crossing pattern underneath. Georgia playing a lot of 2-deep zone, and they're playing man underneath. And they've been able to set the crossing pattern with Glover open under that soft drop area. That time he caught it, got it to the Georgia 24.
Single receivers left and right. Burns and Hatch behind Godsey on 3rd and a full 2 for the Yellow Jackets. Campbell in motion to the wide side at the right. Here's Godsey. Georgia's going to pitch it away. Burns has got it. Marker's gone down across the way. Or Hatch, I'm sorry, is the guy who will have the first down at the 29, but check the flag at the 35.
Might be a hold, Wes. It's going to be a false start on Tech. So
second penalty of the drive, Kim. Both of them have been costly.
They have. Both of them false start procedure penalties, and they killed Tech before they pulled the ball. That was a big first down conversion.
Illegal
for Tech.
formation. 6-men on the line on the
Didn't
offense.
have enough people on the line.
5 yards. Replay the down.
George O'Leary once again checking to make sure who the infraction was on. That's very important to Tech because sometimes they think they've got the play, Kim, lined up and ready to go.
The line of scrimmage will be just inside the Georgia 40.
Tech has got to get inside the Bulldog 32 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down and 7. It's a little more than 7 after they step it off.
Those are the kind of penalties, if you're a coach, you turn your hair white like George O'Leary.
Yep. 3rd down and 7, 8:17 to go first half. It's 17 to 3 Tech. Big play. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Watkins, Campbell, and Glover, and here's Godsey dropping back. Downfield, there's Campbell. It's incomplete. Jermaine Phillips was defending.
It's incomplete. Intended for Campbell.
Boy, Wes, Campbell's had a rough start here. That time he ran a little short corner route. He was open, and the ball hit his hands. Contact on his hands might have deflected it, knocked it away that time by number 5, Jermaine Phillips, a safety, but Campbell has had his troubles today.
Damian Gary will stand at the 10. Dan Dyke on to punt it away. He'll try and hang it up down there against the Bulldogs. And it's a high spiral toward the near side, and it's into the end zone by about 3 yards. Kerry Watkins was down to try and cover and got pushed away by Ryan Davis, sophomore corner from Columbus. Timeout on the field here in Athens. 7:50 to go. Georgia will have it 1st and 10 at its 20 when we continue.
Yes, and that's only the second time possession-wise that Tech has not gotten points early in this ball game with 7:50 to go in the second period. Tech leading 17-3 over Georgia. But they had the first down on 3rd down, but Burns got it on the option pitch, but Tech was guilty of not having 7 men on that line, and then Godsey came up short on the pass, and not a good kick by Dan Dyke. Kicked the ball in the end zone. Georgia takes over at their 20.
Darrell Robinson has come in, wide left. Terrence Edwards in motion now to right to left to the wide side of the field. First down, and this is Musa Smith, who just got blasted by Nick Rogers back at the 12. Loss of 8 on first down, and I mean Rogers read that and slammed it like he heard him call it in the huddle.
Had a missed block that time. I think, I don't know who it was for Georgia that missed that block, one of their guards, but Nick Rogers just too quick crashing in, knocked him back to the 14, 6-yard loss. Big play by Tech.
13th tackle behind the line this year for Rogers, 18th of his career. They take a tight end out. In fact, both of them are out of the ball game now. Reggie Brown has come in. He's wide left. Edwards and Robinson here to the right. Phillips is going to throw downfield and overshoots Darrell Robinson, incomplete. Felipe Claybrooks was making life rough on Corey Phillips bearing down, so now it's quickly 3rd and 18 for Georgia at its 12 with 7:03 to play first half, and Tech leading by 2 touchdowns.
Well, Robinson had a step or two that time. I think that was Wimbush in coverage, but ball was overthrown, incomplete.
They take Brown and Musa Smith out, bring McMichael and Javaris Johnson back in with Damian Gary and Terrence Edwards. No running backs here and 4 receivers. I beg your pardon. Milliken's going to flank to the right of Corey Phillips. 4-man front for Tech. Here's Phillips looking left. He throws it. It's incomplete. It was a pass and not a lateral to Damian Gary.
Tried to set the tunnel screen up and looked like they might have had some things going for him, but Gary couldn't hold on to it. Incomplete, so Tech's defense does a job. 3 plays and out for Georgia. And they'll put Kilgo back around his goal line or end zone to punt.
Georgia 1 out of 5 on 3rd down. Second time the Tech defense has gone 3 downs and out today. Here's the snap from Andy Hogan, and Jonathan Kilgo rips one to Rhino. He'll play from the 39, 40. Kelly cuts back 45 and still chugging to the midfield stripe goes Bam Bam. 11-yard return by Kelly Rhino of a 47-yard punt by Jonathan Kilgo. And we'll keep it here at Sanford Stadium in Athens, where Tech sets up. 6th possession of the first half for the Yellow Jackets at midfield. 6:42 to go first half. 1st and 10 for Georgia Tech at midfield, leading by 2 touchdowns at 17-3. George Godsey sends Jonathan Smith far side, John Myers near side. Wilder and Burns behind him in an eye. First down, and it's batted away, incomplete by Charles Grant. It was intended for Burns on just a little dump, but Tech's offensive line, and trying to set up a wall for Burns, kind of cut the dogs loose, and Godsey had to dump it off quick. Pretty athletic play by the 6'1", 265-pound sophomore out of Miller County. Charles Grant, of course, who was injured, a serious knee injury last year's ball game, Kim, in Atlanta on the opening drive. 2nd down and 10 now for Tech at the Georgia 50-yard line. It should be almost into Bulldog territory. 4-receiver package with Burns alone, setback and no tight end. Here's Godsey pitching to Burns, and coming uncontested is Jermaine Phillips to knock him out of bounds for no gain.
That's a good play by the safety, Jermaine Phillips, that time. He read the option, came up on the short side, and no opportunity at all for Tech to set that play up.
Jim Donnan has come down here to the Georgia bench to call his offense to him, sensing they might get a chance to get the ball back here now on 3rd down and 10. Godsey sends 3 to the right and 1 to the left. 4-man front for Georgia, snap to Goose. Godsey downfield, that's caught. Kerry Watkins spinning away from traffic to the 28-yard line. Watkins took a nasty shot, but he held on for a first down. Jermaine Phillips is the guy that was bringing the wood in the Georgia secondary.
Wes, when you run 2 deep zone, you're vulnerable in the middle of the field. That time they ran Watkins down on a deep post pattern, and Godsey was perfect with a throw. Watkins made a nice catch in traffic. He's injured and down. First down Tech.
I think Kerry Watkins hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him. He took a heavy hit from Jermaine Phillips, the senior from Roswell High School, who was a converted wide receiver back in the spring. With 6:21 to go, Tech leading Georgia 17-3. And Watkins will be now moved to where he's sitting up off his back. And hopefully, I think he got the wind knocked out of him. Tell you what, it's not for the weak and meek down there today.
Good to see him trotting off the field. That means he'll be back.
Kim, that's a huge play there, converting 3rd and 10.
Well, it's there. It's a 2 deep zone. They ran the deep post pattern, and perfect throw and catch, and give Watkins credit catching the ball in traffic.
Myers goes to the right, Jonathan Smith to the left. Matt Bay and Heller, 2 tight ends, with Joe Burns the lone setback. Georgia with 5 on the line and 7 in the box. Here's Smith toward the formation in motion. They'll give it to Burns, and Seymour makes a heck of a play. He'll drop him for a 3-yard loss. Richard Seymour makes the play back at the 31, and Seymour's up hobbling now. It'll be 2nd down and 13 for Tech at the Georgia 31. And Seymour is really struggling, so they'll ask Jonathan Sullivan, the freshman from Griffin, to come in. And Seymour is upset, and I think it's his ankle or the top of his right foot.
Shake it up.
Jamie Henderson's coming here to the near side to talk with Brad Lambert, who coaches the secondary for the Bulldogs. Brad Lambert, Greg Atkins, Leon Perry came with Jim Donnan from Marshall. His son Todd joined the staff after being a graduate assistant the last couple of years. This year is a joint employee. Todd works as not only the quarterback's coach, but also works in the development office in a fundraising position. That's the way that Georgia football is able to avoid the nepotism policy that prevented Jim Herrick from bringing his son here as an assistant when he became the basketball coach. 2nd and 13. Seymour out. Sullivan in for the Bulldogs. Play action by Godsey. Rolling back. He'll dump it out in the flat. That's Heller. Young man out of Marist inside the 25. Will Heller knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line. A pickup of 9 where Tony Gilbert makes the stop on the far side.
Run out by
Good play by Tech that time, faking and then getting Godsey on the right. Heller coming off the line of scrimmage in the flat. He was open. Georgia ran him out of bounds at the 22.
Got to get to the 18, Kim, for a first down, so it's 3rd and right at 4.
Yep, big play for both teams here.
Glover to the near side, Jonathan Smith far side. Joe Burns is the lone setback with 2 tight ends. Tech is 2 out of 6 on 3rd down. Here's Godsey dropping back. He'll throw to the right side. What a catch, Jonathan Smith, and a first down. The rookie from Clinch County hauls it in at the 11-yard line.
Boy, you're talking about a big catch there by Jonathan Smith. That was good coverage by Georgia that time. They really had him covered. Godsey drops back short, throws an out pattern, and Smith just makes a great catch. Foot came down in bounds. Henderson in coverage. First down Tech.
Bulldog fans are booing, but last time I checked, the college rule is 1 foot in. 1st and 10. 2 tights again. Single receivers left and right with Burns lined up 4 yards back. Quick hitter. This is Godsey keeping again. Fake the pitch and dives to the 6. Godsey gave him the full package there. Fakes it up the middle, and then Goose, acting like his predecessor, just kind of waggled it out there like he was going to pitch it away and dove to the 6-yard line, where he picks up 5 at 2nd and 5.
That was a play. He scored the 33-yard touchdown on Tech's first offensive possession. Put him in motion back to the left, then came back to the right with the option keeper. That time Godsey picked up 4 to the 7.
Single receivers left and right. Campbell's in the game. He's in the boundary. John Myers here to the left. I formation. Here's Myers in motion from the wide side. Straight ahead, this is Burns inside the 5, and digging is Joe Burns before he's pushed back. They're going to mark it toward the 4-yard line.
Smith and Seymour.
And it'll be 3rd and short. Seymour back in there, makes the stop for Georgia.
Ball spotted at the 4.
3rd down and 3 for Tech.
3rd down.
At the 4.
4 yards to go for the first down.
Tech needs the 1 for a 1st and goal. Kerry Watkins, Kelly Campbell, Will Glover in the game. Watkins to the right, Glover and Campbell left. Burns offset behind Godsey to the right. Campbell in motion. Here's Godsey sprinting to his left. George looks in zone. He's going to throw out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. That's a smart play by Godsey. Bell was bearing down, and Georgia had Tech covered up.
Tried to flood the corner of the end zone, but too many red shirts there, and Godsey very wisely threw the ball out of the end zone incomplete. So Georgia's defense is held apparently, and Tech's going to try the field goal.
21-yard attempt by Monjay from inside the right hash. A right to left angle for the sophomore from Conyers.
A 21-yard field goal.
Played at Rockdale County for Matt Fligg. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field. 3:35 to go in this first half of play, and Luke Monjay's booted his 2nd field goal, this one of 21 yards, and Georgia Tech leads Georgia by a 20-3 score. Now this message, short kick. Damian Gary from the 12 looking to the right side, got a wall and will be collared from behind, I believe. Matt Etheridge is the guy that makes the tackle to the 25-yard line. That's where Georgia goes to work. Georgia Tech leading 20-3 with 3:20 to go in this first half of play at Sanford Stadium in Athens. The Yellow Jackets getting a 21-yard field goal by Monjay to go with an earlier 42-yard field goal.
First and 10, Georgia.
Corey Phillips at the controls for Jim Donnan. And let's see what's happening. They're taking Reggie Brown out, bringing Terrence Edwards in the Georgia rotation. They send Edwards to the left. Gary and Darrell Robinson here to the wide side at the right. Phillips will work from a shotgun on first and 10 from the 25. Snap to him. Here's the play out of the backfield. Edwards looking to throw. Got away from one. He'll throw it complete. Robinson 38 and knocked out of bounds up at the 48-yard line. Jeremy Myers makes the stop. But I tell you what, Tech had him dead to rights, Kim, and couldn't tackle Terrence Edwards.
Well, they had Jamar Clark coming up. They were trying to set it up, and Clark had him dead to rights, but Edwards just shucked him, and Clark missed the tackle, and that enabled him to set the throw up downfield.
First and 10 at the Bulldog 47-yard line. The play goes 22 yards. Robinson will go to the left. Phillips with Smith to his left, has Milliken and Gary here to the right. Phillips in trouble. He throws it out of the backfield. That's Milliken, and he'll be tackled for a loss by Keith Fox back at the 45 as Darrell Smith was in there banging away on Corey Phillips. Loss of 2 will make it 2nd and 12.
Bring up second and
Tell you what,
from the Georgia 45.
Corey Phillips just looking for anybody. He'd have thrown it to Jonas Jennings if he'd have been open. 2:40 left to play. It's 20-3 Tech. Ball at the Georgia 45, 2nd and a dozen. Gary and Robinson will go to the left side. Reggie Brown here to the right. Phillips from a shotgun with Milliken to his right. Dropping straight back. Here come the Jackets. Phillips across the middle. That's caught McMichael for a first down, or close to a first down at the Georgia Tech 44-yard line. Smith and Wimbush make the tackle.
Boy, Wimbush was in great coverage position that time. McMichael, give him credit for making a great catch. The ball was thrown over the middle. He just went up and caught the ball in traffic. Big catch for Georgia.
3rd down and 1 at the Tech 44-yard line. Here's the give, and this is Milliken. First down inside the 40 goes hard-charging Brett Milliken out of Parkview High School. He and John Myers, the Tech receiver, and John's younger brother Jeremy, childhood friends.
Milliken's gain is to the 38.
Pick up a 6-yard for Milliken before Claybrooks makes the stop. And Georgia's second 3rd down conversion in 6 tries. First and 10 at the Tech 38. Bulldogs trying to get something on the board for halftime. Here's Reggie Brown taking a slant from Phillips, making a move, and then he got hammered at the 35-yard line by Claybrooks and Chris Young. Little short passes now. 2nd down and 7. Ball spotted to the Tech 35. Corey Phillips and Georgia trying to go the fast break offense here. 4-man front for Tech with 4 receivers. Here's Phillips looking to throw. Batted in the air. Intercepted Darrell Smith. And he's coming back down the near sideline. Smith's off to the races. He may score. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. If it stands, it's 70 yards. And it is.
Oh,
Darrell
my.
Smith picks off the deflection and takes it to the house.
Oh, my.
Who brings it back for the touchdown.
It is 26-3. The ball got deflected at the line by Claybrooks. Smith ran underneath, and watch him tiptoe to paradise. It is 26-3 with Monjay to try the point after. It's up. It's good. Timeout on the field with a minute to go. Georgia Tech 27 and Georgia 3. Ball at the Bulldog 42-yard line with 44 left. Good point there, Kim, about the timeouts. Godzi with 4 receivers. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Snap to him. Give inside is Burns, crashing inside the 40 to about the 38. Held up by Kendrell Bell. Pick up a 4 on the play. Jackets use 1 there. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
George O'Leary's looking up at the clock, Wes, after the timeout was signaled. Several seconds ran off, and he's calling the officials' attention to it. Don't know whether he'll get any change on the clock there, but now the referee is being talked to, so they may put a few seconds back on the scoreboard clock.
Ron Cherry heading up this ACC crew today.
As Corey Phillips came off the field, he got some words from Todd Donnan and Jim Donnan. That was his second interception of the game. Darrell Smith with a 70-yard interception. That time Matt Miller in excellent coverage threw into traffic, and Miller picked off the ball at the Georgia 42. So clock is stopped now with 36 seconds to go. Tech on top 27-3, and Tech has 2 timeouts left.
Gary Gibbs, the former head coach at Oklahoma, current defensive coordinator for Georgia, is upstairs. Down to our right, Jim Donnan, Rodney Garner lead the defensive huddle on the Georgia sideline here on the south side of Sanford Stadium. 36 seconds left. It's 27-3. There have been 4 turnovers in the game. 1 interception by Georgia. A fumble and 2 picks by the Bulldogs. Near side is Glover. Far side are Campbell and Curry. Here's Godsey from a shotgun, throwing downfield. Glover's there, incomplete. What a hit. Phillips and Tim Wansley colliding to knock the ball loose of Will Glover. So it's now 3rd down and 6 at the Georgia 38. Clock stops with 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Boy, Jermaine Phillips made another big play. Number 5 back there, the safety. He saw that Glover was open and the ball was right there, but he got there right when that ball did and hit Glover from behind, knocked it loose.
He's a headhunter, isn't he, Kim?
He really is. He's a big guy for a safety back there, and played it well then.
Near side is Glover. Far side are Campbell and Watkins. Here's Godsey on 3rd and a half dozen. George dumps it out of the backfield. That got deflected. That's intercepted by Bell, and he's tackled at the 35-yard line. Looking for Burns. The ball deflected into the hands of Kendrell Bell. So Tech's second turnover is an interception of Godsey by Kendrell Bell. And for Bell, it's his first pick of the year, and Georgia's got it with 20 seconds left at its 35-yard line.
Jonathan Robertson knocked that ball up for Georgia, and Bell came up with a second interception for the Dogs. 20 seconds left, but remember, Georgia only has 1 timeout left.
Corey Phillips drops back from the Bulldog 35-yard line, looking to pass. In trouble, spins away, and he'll be sacked. Actually, he'll get a couple yards to the 38, I should say.
37.
And the clock now stops. Georgia uses its final timeout with 9 seconds to go in this first half. So an interesting first half, needless to say here, Kim King.
Really has. I'm amazed at the score 27-3, only because I thought this game was really going to be a real tight contest, and I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I would say that this is surprising for Tech to be up 27-3, and it's been all Tech's defense. They have shut the run down for Georgia. Georgia's had to go to the air, and then when Georgia got 1st and goal down at the Tech 5, the Tech defense stuffed Smith on the first down run back to the 6 for a yard loss, 2 incomplete passes. They had to call on Billy Bennett for the field goal, and that's the only points Georgia's managed to score today.
Point being here, an important 9 seconds. You don't want to give Georgia a chance at anything here in the final 9 seconds because they'll have the football to start the half.
That's right. They won the toss and deferred, and so they'll receive in this second half. Good point, Wes. You want to take this big lead into the locker room because things change and momentum changes in a football game, and certainly you don't want to give Georgia a chance to put any more points on the board with only 9 seconds to go.
George Godsey's second interception of the day is his 6th of the year, by the way, a moment ago by Kendrell Bell off the deflection of the Bulldogs. And it was Jonathan Sullivan that deflected it into the hands of Bell. Corey Phillips with 3 to the right here on 2nd and 7. 9 seconds to go first half, 27-3. Here is Phillips stepping up. He'll throw, incomplete, hit Edwards right in the hands with 3 seconds left. 2 seconds left. They let a second scratch off there.
Yeah, you just play the Big Ben play. They're going to throw it deep, hope they get a flag or get a miracle play out of it.
Yep. 2 seconds to go in this first half. Tech has seized momentum when given the chance today. I will say that the interception a moment ago, probably the first time they haven't executed from a momentum shift, though, Kim. 4 receivers. Phillips from a shotgun, dropping straight back. Steps up in the pocket, throws downfield. That's caught McMichael. The horn is sounded, and the half is over as he's tackled at the 25-yard line by Jamar Clark. Look at this. We got a stack of players back here at the 30. Ron Cherry trying to unstack Felipe Claybrooks and Corey Phillips as this half has come to a close. Jonas Jennings is back there and John Stinchcomb, but Tech's going to the locker room. 27-3, the Yellow Jacks lead it here at halftime in Athens. Stay tuned. Edgar Tragitz will have the full number from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution scoreboard and more.
On top of the table, and that's about all. Jackets have got us 27-3, and they deserve the lead. They have been more or less superior. This is not a matter of some club coming out and just playing awful and doing a bunch of bad stuff. Tech's just, at this moment, too good. Now, at the halftime last year in the Outback, we had cut it to 25-10. We had been behind 25-0 very early in the second quarter. We cut it to 25-10, and then we came on and beat them. But that was the Outback. 27-3. Tech waiting with Manche to kick off. We have Damian Gary and Brett Milliken standing on the goal line waiting for it. Still 43 degrees. It's still a little cold. Kickoff. Hooking left. And it hits on the 6. It stays in bounds. And we try to pick it up. Damian Gary does. And there's no room to run or anything. The ball hit a wet spot or something and just stayed right there 2 feet in bounds. And he had to return it. And he got it out to about the 16-yard line. 27-3. This ball game was big in many areas of this state. I even noticed the governor was here at halftime. Dogs are on their own 16. Couldn't get any kind of a return where that kick dropped and then it spun back and stayed in bounds. We're on our own 16-yard line. 84 yards away. Musa Smith is a tail. 2 wideouts. Corey Phillips dropping back to pass. Dumps it over the middle, complete to the tight end, and they knock him down on the 25, about 9 yards immediately. Javaris Johnson hit by Darrell Smith, the inside linebacker. Loran, what do you got?
Pretty bleak at the half, but I like what Gary Gibbs told the defense. Don't give up on yourself. If you give up on yourself now, you'll be doing that the rest of your life. Don't give up on yourself because this game doesn't have to be over unless you think it's over.
Dogs walk up to the line on their own 25, 2nd and 1. Corey fakes, steps back, looking for somebody, and complete, and then out of bounds on the 42. A high-reaching catch, Terrence Edwards. Corey Collins, a strong safety, then knocked him out. He almost threw it too high, but Corey got it across the field and dumped for about 18 yards and a first down. Jason Rader coming in at a tight end now with the play from the bench. We are up on our 43 where they set it, first down. The air feels a little colder, but the temperature's gone up another degree to 44. One running back. Corey Phillips dropping back, dumps it over the line, complete to the tight end, but they hit him. We only get 2 yards. Randy McMichael only got a couple of yards. Corey Collins, a strong safety, one of the first men to grab at him. Official will mark it around the 45. They haven't put it down yet. Now they do. It's on the 45. We gain 2 yards at the pass. 2nd down and 8. We're running receivers in and out and tight ends in and out with the play at the moment. 2nd down and 8. A short 8. Trailing 27-3. 3 wideouts. Shotgun. Corey Phillips stands there and looks. Throws to the right side. Terrence catches a ball. They knock him out around the 50. On the Tech 49. Needed 8 and got about 6 of it. Chris Young, the cornerback, was the guy that knocked him out. Terrence Edwards had to kind of reach down around his knees for that ball, but did. He reached even a little lower than that on the replay. We are on a Tech 49, 3rd down and 2. 27-3, Tech leads. We bring Damian Gary and LeBron Mitchell wide left, put Edwards over on the right. Tech's 4-3 creeping up close. We come back, hand it to Musa. We got him outside, going to give him 4 or 5 yards, get him a first down. Big wide sweep. Corey kind of ran an option, though he wasn't faking a run. Handed it to him well down the line for a sweep of about 5. Nick Rogers, defensive end, got him, but the play moved enough for a first down. They're on the Tech 44.
How was that for the old student body left, Larry?
24 points down, 13 minutes to go in the third quarter. 3 wideouts. Musa, the lone back. Corey Phillips underneath, takes it, drops back. They're blitzing him. He dumps it across to the tight end, complete, but Tech hangs on to the tackle. We get 2 yards again, Randy McMichael. Corey was lucky to get the pass off. They were blitzing so many people up in there. Their 4-3 became like a 4-5 right at the snap. They had them all up in there close. That's the second little 2-yard pass we have completed on this drive into a big body. McMichael, 6'3" and 230. Dogs moving down the field. We've crossed the 50. We got 3 wideouts. We're in a shotgun. Tech with 2 linebackers played up close. Corey takes it. He's sprinting out to the left to pass. Fires a great catch reaching to McMichael, a tight end on their 36. About a 6-7 yarder. Corey rolled left, barely got away from a last-second blitz that chased him. Fox and Smith, 2 linebackers. Ball got down to the Tech 36. 11:57, and the clock is moving, always moving. 27-3. We are throwing to tight end after tight end here. We're down to the Tech 36, third down rather, and a long 2 yards for a first down. 3 wideouts, give it to Musa. Somebody blitzed up the middle and hit him behind the line. They shot a man up the gap. Smith, that middle linebacker. Musa got hit actually behind the line. And the ball will come back to the 37. We lost the yard. Going to be 4th down now and about 3. We've got to go for it because we're 24 points down. Tech fans in yellow raincoats are really into this thing, and you can't blame them. 3 wideouts. We're in a shotgun. Tech coming off the corner. Corey fires complete to the 28-yard line, and there goes a touchdown. Damian Gary right down the middle. He and LeBron Mitchell both came within 5 yards open of each other down the middle, a 20-yarder. Damian Gary caught a ball and struck down the middle. It's 27-9, but that ain't a third of enough. Through a strike, somebody really missed the tackle. Now the Dogs going to have to call time before we can try an extra point. We apparently weren't lined up right. We're going to have to waste the timeout here before the extra point. Now, that may hurt later on. Timeout. Our receiver in that corner was Damian Gary, who was trying to come back to the goal line for the ball. 27-9. Took a timeout and set up a 2-point play and couldn't come close with it, and we needed the 2 points.
You wonder if that ball was a little, I'm sorry, Larry.
You think it slipped?
I was wondering if the ball just slipped, and that's the first
that
time
might be,
yeah,
because it landed about 12 feet out in front of the receiver. Journal-Constitution scoreboard, Wake Forest 14, NC State 3. 27-9, which doesn't mean anything unless you get a touchdown again, quick. Because it's going to take an awful lot to get back in there. Again, I keep thinking about Purdue last year and that 25-0 lead they had. We were being humiliated.
And came back strong. Georgia's drive was 84 yards. The Dogs did it in 3 minutes and 56 seconds. It covered 8 plays. Damian Gary with the touchdown catch from Corey Phillips. As Larry mentioned, we went for 2 and missed that conversion. So it's 27-9 Tech leads with plenty of time left in this game.
Dogs will have to kick off. A very small fraction of the crowd went home at halftime. I don't know how many hundred, but some did. And occasionally, as you look across, you'll see a scattered 6 or 7 people or so slowly working their way out. Tech will have Campbell and Hatch deep. Kerouac will be kicking off for Georgia, 27-9. We're 18 points behind. But in this game, the way they cut us up and just kind of sliced us up in that first quarter, that's a lot of points, because they really got those first 2 touchdowns so methodical. And as I mentioned at that time, with such finesse. Dogs will kick off. A cold, dark, gray day, and the way the game has gone has made it darker and colder and grayer. 27-9. The dog mascot is down there wrestling with Uga, and Uga is really into it. Well, we'll kick off to Tech. Kerouac waiting. And he'll approach it and hit it. Long kickoff, going to come near the goal line to about the 2 to Kelly Campbell, to the 10, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Somebody pushed him out. Kerouac himself up around the 35 or 40. Where did they push him? 38? Campbell has got such great speed that he burst through. There was a little bit of a skirmish line between the 10 and the 18 or so, and he was through there in no time. Tech is up on their own 37.5, and it'll be first down there. One member of our secondary really had a shot on him on the 30, and he ran right by his hands and his arms. Tech first down. Hand to the running back, and they break him outside, and we hit him on the 40. Joe Burns had no hole at left tackle, slanted out, and Jermaine Phillips hit him, the first man, up around the 40. He got about 2 or 2.5 second down. 27-9. Kendall Bell also on that stop, by the way. In fact, Bell hit his leg at the same time that Jermaine hit him high. Tech goes into an I, and then they shift. They flip-flop the tight ends, one to the other. Godsey on second down. Going to take the ball and fake and go back to throw. Goes hard to the left, complete. We hit him right away. Might be a first down near the 50. Will Glover. He's gone to Glover an awful lot today. He whipped a 10-yarder just inside the 50 by about a foot. 27-9, Tech leads. Tech trying to come down again. Stadium is still reasonably full, despite the way the ball game has turned out. Tech 1 running back, 2 wideouts. We're almost in a 5. Fake, he's back to throw, he's got time. Whips over to the right flat, complete, and Wansley hit him right away on the 45. Got it across for almost 5, though, I think. Will Glover again, who had gone down and turned and came up. Wansley hit him, then Gilbert came up also. But the play was 5 or 5.5 yards. Tech with an 18-point lead, and Tech's got the ball. Second down, about 4.5 for a first down. Tech driving. They're on the Georgia 45. Flip-flop, the tight ends again. Godsey going to take it. Hand to that running back, and we hit him right there. Joe Burns, Marcus Stroud wrapped him from behind just as he crossed the 45. 8:43 and the clock moving. Remember now, Tech's in control of the scoreboard and the clock if they have any kind of a drive. They're on our 44.5, third down. The Dog fans want the defense to get us the ball back. 4 wideouts, shotgun. Tech leads 27-9 in the middle of the third quarter. Godsey takes it, throws it quickly. A low catch complete on the 39, first down, I think, John Myers. First time he's gone to him. They have a lot of receivers they throw to, and they trust him. He dumped about a 6-yarder for a first down. Little Rutgers leading Syracuse 14-13 in the third quarter. Ball on the 39, first down. Tech 2 wide outs. They flop the tight ends again. Going to go to Burns up the middle. Got about 4.
Well, it'd be hard for Georgia fans or Georgia Tech fans to believe this, but George Godsey has been outpassed by Corey Phillips in this game so far. Corey Phillips with 216 yards passing. Corey's connected on his last 8 passes, and George Godsey with only 209 yards passing comparatively. Burns' rush made it 2nd down and 5 as Godsey approaches the line.
2nd and 5. Kendall Bell made the stop. Godsey going to step back to throw. Fired incomplete. The crowd is hollering. There was a blatant hold behind the line. They missed. They were really hanging on the grid.
Checking other stats for you. Joe Burns, after he had that big 14-yard run at the end of the first quarter, Georgia's been doing a pretty good job of trying to hold him in check. He's only had 26 yards since then on 10 carries. Joe Burns with 52 yards on 16 carries, and that's been a big difference. Tech's been able to get 3-4 yards of crack with him.
3rd down, a long 5. Tech on our 34. Godsey shotgun with receiver spread. Going to throw it right down the middle. Almost intercepted. Down on a 15. Intended for Kelly Campbell, and Jermaine Phillips dove for a low ball and missed him. And Tech will have a big 4th down here. It's 27-9. I suddenly wound up coughing, as you know, Hondo, and I thank you for stepping in.
Just enjoying the time up here with you, Larry. We miss old Scott doing that basketball.
27-9. We barely got a man off at the last second. Dyke to punt for Tech. High, lazy pooch kick. It's going to hit where he wants it. In fact, the Tech man hit it first around the 10.
Dick Payne's squawking, and so am I. The Tech man touched it at about the 11-yard line. Okay, now they're bringing it out. All right, good. They're bringing it out to the 11-yard line where it belongs. Georgia will take over there.
Dogs will be a 1st down around 11 or the 12 when they set it down. 6:47 in the 3rd quarter, 27-9.
Georgia trailing 27-9. One of the trademarks of Jim Donnan's teams has been the ability to come back from double-digit deficits. Of course, Georgia with the greatest bowl comeback in history last year against Purdue from 25 points down. The game before that against Tech, the Dogs trailed by 17 and actually led that game by 7, so that was a 24-point turnaround. A couple of weeks ago against Auburn, the Dogs were down by 10 and fought back to force overtime. And 1 week ago, the Dogs trailed by 14 against Ole Miss and scored 32 unanswered points to win that game.
We are on our own 11, 27-9, 6:47. Phillips underneath, 2 receivers stacked close now, 1 in motion on the left, 1 receiver on the right, 1 running back. Back to the right, drifts Phillips, fires, and Tech had an intercepted touchdown. They dropped in the flat, intended for Milliken out in the left flat. Chris Young broke on the ball on our 15, had it and dropped it, or they would have scored right there.
Well, he smelled it all the way, Larry.
Yeah.
You're right. Chris Young was right there on the doorstep, and we're lucky on that play.
2nd down. We are 89 yards away from it, 27-9, 6:40 in the 3rd quarter. This will sound stupid, but it's not over yet. 3 wideouts. Tech going to blitz off a corner. He steps forward and fires. Incomplete. He threw the ball a little bit behind the receiver on the 18 over the middle, Javaris Johnson. No, it was Damian Gary. It'll be 3rd down. We're bogged down here near our own goal line and getting beat 27-9.
And Tech's bringing the pressure again, which they did in the first half and didn't on that last try for Georgia. Now they're bringing the pressure, and Corey's going to have to respond.
Forced out of our running game by what? Not necessarily the scoreboard. The other guys got superior linemen today. Shotgun, 4 wideouts. 3rd down, Tech jump way offside on the left side of the line. Pass is caught by Terrence Edwards on a 35 on the sideline, going to be forced out. Threw it down the left side, threw it over our tight end on the 25, and Terrence was behind him to catch a ball. Corey, despite pressure, got it away to the 39, and it's a 1st down. We are forced in a situation where we need to have a shootout. We lost the shootout with them last year. Terrence Edwards got forced out of bounds by a defender and then came back in. On the 39, shotgun snap to Corey Phillips. Looking, going to throw it too long down the field. He had Terrence running with the defender. Chris Young was running right with him, incomplete on a long bomb. Pause for station identification on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
Depend on Scott Slade, Atlanta's Morning News, only on News Talk 750 WSB. Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
27-9. We're on our own 39, 6:26. Uh-oh, they took so much time, they're going to have to kill another timeoff. They may have. Georgia has lost the timeout here. We were not going to be able to get the playoff. We've had to call a time. 6:26 left only in the third quarter. Timeout, these words on the Georgia Sanford Stadium, the end of the season. Miserable, cold, rainy night and early morning, but the rain went away. The temperature now is all the way up to 45. It has been a half-decent day, and the field was in such great condition and drained so well. The water's never been a problem. Here we are, second down, shotgun with three receivers. Corey down the middle, a tight end reached and caught it, falling out, incomplete on their 45. Randy McMichael turned around and went up in the air. Corey hit it a little high, but Randy made a great leaping catch, a 15-yarder, first down. We're trying to come back down the field and get some points. PA announcer wisely trying to get the crowd back in the ballgame. We're on to Tech 45. Two wideouts trying to play a shootout with them, trying to play the passing game. Snap to Corey Phillips. Going to the right side, complete. Damian Gary and run out of bounds around their 34-5. He caught him to 33 and tried to step back. Where are they going to mark it? 33, apparently.
Well, Georgia gave Tech a little...
Clark.
I'm sorry, Larry. Beg your pardon. Georgia gave Tech a little taste of its own medicine. Nice little timing pattern there with Damian Gary running the quick down and out 11 yards. And Corey threw the ball long before Damian even made his break. The timing was perfect. First down, Georgia.
Take the tight end down and put LeBron Mitchell back in. We're on a Tech 33. We've driven slowly and steadily through the air. Three wideouts. Shotgun, Corey right over the middle, complete, and they hit him on the 25. Terrence Edwards coming from right to left, 8 or 9 yards across the middle. Chris Young got him. We're trying to play Air Force with him, trying to come through the air with kind of a bunch of old DC-3s. The other guys got jets. We're on the 24. It's second down in the yard. 27-9, 5:01. Two receivers left and one right. Shotgun, Corey Phillips. Over the middle, complete to the big tight end, Randy McMichael, down to the 5. Corey, despite corner pressure coming on him, stepped forward and hit McMichael. First down, goal to go.
8th catch of the day for Randy McMichael. He has 107 yards. Corey has passed for 294 yards in this game.
But we're 18 points down, and there's not enough time left now. 4:33, the clock running. Trying to go through the air. Three wideouts, shotgun, tight end moving. Corey coming to the left, a man on him. He had to throw it away, though the tight end was open on a goal line a little. He threw it at his feet. Incompleted pass. Pressure by a defender who almost got him, Nick Rogers, a defensive end, forced Corey to throw it on the run at the feet of the receiver. Second down on the 4.5. Better watch the clock, you guys. You can't waste another timeout now. 27-9. We've only got one timeout left. They better watch the clock. Shotgun. 4.5 yards. Corey throwing. Touchdown to the tight end. Big Randy McMichael, 8 yards in the end zone. 27-15. We're almost, but not quite back in the ball game. Not quite back in there. 27-15. We're going to go for 2. Corey is trying to get signed from the bench. McMichael broke open down the middle behind the secondary and still had a reach and grab. Better watch the time again. We're going to go for 2. Dogs going to go for 2. Need technically 3.5 yards. Corey looks, can't find them. They sack him, and the ball is rolling around out in a flat, incomplete. One of the guys trying to block for him got hurt. It's down on one knee, and now he's coming up. That's Brett Milliken. Oh, his left arm or shoulder is just hanging down. Well, it's 27-15. We're only 12 down, and we haven't been this close in hours. Tech's got a man hurt, too, as Milliken is coming out. Timeout, a quick SEC timeout on the Georgia behind. 4 minutes and 12 seconds in the third quarter. Tech leads 27-15. Kerouac will kick off. The crowd has possibly shrunk to 80,000. I'm guessing at that. There are some holes if you look hard enough, especially down here in one end. Georgia kicks off after a real good-looking drive. Twice we tried for 2 today. Here's a high end-over-end kick coming near the goal line. On the 1 to Kelly Campbell. The guy with the speed after the 25. He pushing up to the middle of the field of the 40, and we hit him around the 45. Boy, did he make a return. He started like he was going to this right sideline, and then he decided to go back to the hash mark and go straight up that way. Tech ran that kickoff back almost 45 yards. Loran, what do you got?
Corey Phillips, Larry. Corey Phillips might not have the experience. He might not have the talent. But he's pretty cool under pressure, and he has got the team looking his way for leadership.
Godsey behind that center. Here's Tech. They're on their own 44, first down with a long kickoff return. They go to Sid Ford, and the Dogs' defense on the left side hit him after about 2.5 yards. Marcus Stroud grabbed him first coming in. Ball is going to be spotted where? Outside the 47, I believe. They started on the 44, so they got 3. Second down, a short 7. Georgia Tech leads 27-15, 3:32. 2 wideouts there in an I. Godsey underneath. Godsey runs option out to the left side, keeps it. And we hit him short of the 50. Godsey got hit. Seymour was one of the men on him. Charles Grant was another man getting up. And we got a man down, hurt on the play. Grant is down. No, it might be somebody else. Let's check it and see. Dogs have got a man down. Grant's standing up. Dick, I haven't spotted that number.
26, Will Witherspoon injured.
Oh, it's Witherspoon. Well, Witherspoon may have taken the first hit as the option came to that corner.
Larry, Georgia's last scoring drive went 89 yards. Dogs did it in 9 plays and took just 2 minutes and fraction of time off the clock in marching down that field and using the tight end quite effectively. Randy McMichael with a bunch of grabs on that. Gary with one nice one. Terrence Edwards with a couple as well, as Corey Phillips led the Dogs to the touchdown and failed conversion on the 2-point conversion. Makes it 27-15 Georgia Tech with the lead.
Witherspoon is still down. I think I saw his leg move, but they haven't brought him up yet. Now they're starting to put him in a sitting position. NC State has rallied again. They lead Wake Forest 18-14, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution scoreboard. Syracuse 21-14 on Rutgers. Both those games are in the third quarter. I think the Miami-Boston College game starts after our game. The Dogs linebacker sitting on the ground. Now they got him up.
It's an upper body injury. They're checking his neck or his ears or shoulder. I'm not sure. They're right up there around the headgear where it meets the shoulder pads.
It'll be third down, a short 5 for Tech when we go back into this thing. Here we are in the last game of the year, and neither Witherspoon or Bailey, the linebackers, are now on the field. Bailey's been gone all year. Third down, Tech up to the line. They need 5 yards. Gotzi's got him in a shotgun. They're just inside the 50. Gotzi takes it and drops back. We're going to chase him. We fire. Complete in the right flat, and then we hit him and drove him out around the 48. Kendrell Bell was a guy that hit him far across the field. Dogs lineman chased him. Ford got hit after catching a flat pass and got about 2 yards. Got 2.5. He got it to our 47.5. It's 4th down. Tech will kick it away. Dan Dyke is coming in. Fourth down. Tech outside of our 47. Dyke in a punt formation. Snap almost high. He got the kick away. Not real long. And Damian Gary caught it on the 19. Tries to fight his way straight ahead. Got it almost to the 30. Let's see.
Oh, the Tech people are screaming. They thought that he called for a fair catch.
That's what one of the officials did, too. I believe he called for a fair catch back in the 19.
They got to call a penalty on Georgia.
Now they throw the flag down. The one official who was there did not throw it, but he threw a marker down where Gary made his attempt to catch it. And he had moved his hand for a fair catch. So an 11-yard return is going to be wiped out.
With a fair catch on the play, a fair catch was signaled. We have a delay of game on the receiving team. 5 yards, first down.
So we're going to be in a hole if we want to start another drive. But this is about where we started the other one. We started the other one on the 11-yard line. This might be where? The 12? Just about. 1:51 in the third quarter. They put it down closer to the 13. 27-15. 12 points down. Tech has almost gone a whole quarter without scoring. Shotgun. 3 wideouts left. 1 to the right. Tech's in a 4-2. Corey throws that little slant inside screen to Damian Gary. One man missed him. The second and third man got him on the 15. Play only wound up with a couple of yards. Claybrooks, the end, made the stop. Damian Gary ran that little slant coming inside over the middle. Loran, what do you got?
We got a burner for Will Witherspoon, so they're checking him out now to see if they can let him get back in there. So it's a pretty tough lick, but it looks like he might be okay.
Second down, ball across the 15, a short 8, snap. Corey over in the right side, but there's a blocker for him there. And cutting one way and the other, Damian Gary wiggling to the 28. First down, he caught it and had a blocker. Had a tight end, Javaris Johnson, in front to help him. And Darrell Smith, who's really hurt us today, that middle linebacker, a freshman out of Albany, Georgia, made the stop again. He's also had a big interception today for a touchdown. Dogs got a first down just shy of their 28. Clock just running against us, saying no, no, no. 54 seconds. 27-15 Tech leads. They've led all day by 7 miles. 4 wideouts. Shotgun. Corey, we ran a draw. Milliken 5 yards. Milliken 6 or 7, and then got hit hard to the 33. Let's see where they put it down. Might put it down to the 33. That's where they will mark it. So he only got 5. He didn't get the 7. Reggie Brown in. We take a tight end out. Second down, a short 5. We're trailing 27-15, and the third quarter is about to end. We're going to be lucky to get the playoff before the quarter ends. 3 wideouts. Shotgun. Corey going to take it. Steps. Looks and throws to a receiver open, and he misses him. Reggie Brown streaking down the right side on their 35, and we couldn't get the ball to him, and the quarter may have ended right there. Tech leads 27-15.
Third quarter is over. Final quarter of play. Georgia Tech leading Georgia 27-15. The Bulldogs have had the momentum so far here in the second half after Tech led by 24 points at halftime. And Kim, Corey Phillips now 320 some odd yards of passing, 328 total for Georgia, 349 a total offense, only 21 yards on the ground. Tech with 209 passing and 115 on the ground for their 324 now in the ball game.
Well, Georgia's found the passing lanes open here. They've given up on the run. Tech stuffed it in that first half. Georgia managed only 12 net rushing yards. So Jim Donnan knows that he's with those two big tight ends, McMichael and Johnson. And he's gone to the airwaves, and Tech's had a tough time slowing it down.
Well, it's now 3rd down and 5. Georgia's moved the ball 29 yards. I should say 19 yards out to the 33 on this possession. A couple of passes to Damian Gary and a 5-yard run by Brett Milliken. So the 4th and final quarter of this 95th meeting. This is the 3rd consecutive year both schools have been ranked in the top 20 when they've played. They're neck and neck in the polls. One poll's got one higher than the other, and vice versa. So Corey Phillips, who's ended up after a tough start, has had a very good second half here so far. And Kim, you made an excellent point. Notoriously a slow starter is Phillips. He really comes on in the second half.
Well, he has, and Tech has not been able to get to him. They pressured him, and he's gotten the ball off. They've laid back in coverage. He's dumped it off. So Tech's really trying to scramble to come up with some kind of combination to stop Georgia here in the second half.
Edwards left, Gary and McMichael right. Here's Phillips on 3rd and 5, throwing, batted away, Clay Brooks at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 5.
Broken up.
Well, Wes, that was a huge play by Clay Brooks because he had him open out in the flat that time. And that's the first time Georgia Tech has stopped Georgia in this half with a batted down pass by Felipe Clay Brooks, the big senior.
So Kilgo comes on to punt. 3rd pass broken up by Clay Brooks, his 2nd today. It's now 4th and 5 for Georgia. Kilgo to punt for the first time in this half. He had a 41-3 average on 3 punts in the first half, and this one is a rocket. Chasing Rhino back. Kelly Rhino from the 16, and then he got stuck by Javaris Johnson or Will Witherspoon. Will Witherspoon at the 21-yard line. So that's where Tech will take over on their 3rd possession of this second half. Georgia has held on to the football the balance of the second half, and with 14:43 to go, the Yellow Jackets have got it 1st and 10 at their 21-yard line. George Godsey sends Kelly Campbell to the near side, Will Glover to the far side. Burns is the lone setback. Godsey wants a timeout.
Timeout, Georgia Tech.
Matt Vey was lined up off the play as an H-back, and Godsey will use a timeout and will take it with him. 14:43 to play. Tech 27, Georgia 15. Back after this on the Georgia 14:43 of the game. The Bulldogs trailing the Yellow Jackets 27-15 here in Sanford Stadium in Athens with Kim King, Wes Durham, our entire crew on site here. Studio producer today, Rich Sullivan. Edgar Traget's, of course, standing by with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution scoreboard as updates warrant here in the final quarter of play. Georgia started building momentum right off the opening kick of the second half, Kim, and Georgia Tech has run 11 offensive plays in this second half so far. Georgia has run, 5 to go to the 19. They've run 25 and punted 1 time. 1st and 10. Campbell and Glover with a tight end to the right and to the left. Burns the lone setback. Play action to Burns. Here's Godsey throwing back, and it's dropped, intended for Will Heller.
Number 42, Tony Gilbert.
Tony Gilbert was there in coverage for Georgia. So it's 2nd down and 10.
Had Heller open that time on the bootleg play. Faked it to the right. Heller came off the right tight end. He was open. Ball was thrown a little low, but Heller couldn't hold on to it.
Godsey's number now, 18 of 32 for 209. A touchdown and 2 interceptions. Burns and Hatch in the eye now behind Goose. Here's Campbell in motion from right to left. Little counter. They'll give it straight ahead with Burns, and he'll charge for 3 out to the 24. It's 3rd down and 7. Tech's been left, Kim, in this second half now. They've got 3rd and 7 on this possession. They had 3rd and 4 on the last possession. 3rd down and 5 on their first possession in this second half. This is the longest 3rd down of the second half. Crowd, who was out of it in the first 30 minutes, is back in it, needless to say. 4 receivers. Myers, Watkins, Campbell, and Glover. That's Glover in motion, right to left. Snap to Godsey. Here come the Bulldogs. George loops it out in the flat. That's Burns, eluding 1, and will stretch to the 26. Pick up just a couple. It'll be 4th and 5. And Tech will have to punt it away again.
Good coverage by Georgia downfield. They were trying to work the ball to the left side, but Georgia had everything covered. Godsey tried to scramble out of there and saw Burns open, but Georgia closed on him. Only gave him a couple of yards, so Tech will have to kick it.
4th down and 5 at the 26. Dan Dyke to punt it away. Damian Gary stands at the 35. Snap to him. Georgia going for the block. Dyke got away a high spiral. Gary from the 30 got out of 1 and will not get away from the second. Troy Tolbert the first guy, but it's Matt Bay who planted him at the 31-yard line. That's a 44-yard punt, and a 2-yard return will keep it here at Sanford Stadium. So Georgia forces Tech to another 3 down and out, and the Bulldogs take over at the 30. 1-yard line.
Great kick by Dyke that time. Georgia went for the block. Looked like they were going to get there, but Gary was back, eluded the first gunner down there, but Tech, great punt coverage, knocked him down at the 31.
Jackets go to the 43. Edwards to the left side, Johnson, McMichael, and Damian Gary all here to the right. Snap to Corey Phillips. He'll look to throw. Across the middle, and it's caught by McMichael. 40-yard line going to the outside, tackled at the Tech 39. 29 yards to the 40 of Georgia Tech.
Wes, we said before the game how important the passing game, the tight ends, are to Georgia. That time McMichael did a deep post pattern that time, and he had pretty good coverage underneath. He makes a great catch and a great run. Tech finally knocks him down when he gets it across midfield at the Tech 40.
Georgia, who came from 25-0 down in the Outback Bowl against Purdue last year, trying to come from 24 down against Georgia Tech. Trailing 12, here's the throw out on the flat to Gary. Got 1 block, got 2, inside the 30, and tackled at the 22. Key Fox makes the tackle.
He's tackled at the 22.
1st and 10 at the Tech 22. Damian Gary is still down on the near sideline after an 18-yard pickup. With 12:38 to go, Georgia mounting another drive on the Yellow Jacket defense here in the final stages of the 4th quarter. 12:38, early stages, I should say, of this 4th quarter.
That's been an effective play. Georgia puts 3 receivers out there. They get McMichael out blocking. They dump the ball real quick to Gary behind the line, and he just plays a screen type of action. He gets the blocks and then runs down the field. That time he got another big play for Georgia, but he's hurt.
No, it's Javaris Johnson.
Javaris Johnson, I'm sorry, the other tight end. So big play by Georgia, and they've got Tech defensively on their heels now, trying to find some way to slow this short control passing game of Georgia's down. But so far in this second half, it's been all Georgia.
I'm afraid the replay is not good. It looks like the right ankle of Javaris Johnson was rolled back on by Fox and also by Jeremy Myers trying to make the tackle. Either right ankle or right knee of the big tight end from Anniston, Alabama, the senior, Javaris Johnson. And unfortunately, it doesn't look good with 12:38 to go. Well, Georgia Tech leading by 24 points at halftime. Now finds itself leading only a dozen, Kim. Georgia has scored 2 touchdowns in this half, but elected to go for 2 on 2 occasions and failed on both of them. So the Bulldogs find themselves now in need of 2 touchdowns in order to grab the lead. And Georgia's defense has done the job here in the second half against the Yellow Jackets.
They have. They've shut Tech down, and on the other side, while Georgia hadn't been able to run and hadn't made any bones about it. They haven't tried to run on Tech much here in this second half. They've been throwing the ball, and Tech has had trouble slowing them down. They've stopped them on one possession. Georgia's had it 3. They scored the other 2. They're in scoring range here against Tech now.
Okay, after it goes 18 yards to Damian Gary, 1st and 10 for Georgia at the Tech 22. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Phillips looking to throw. Here comes the blitz back across the middle. Caught by McMichael, and Jeremy Myers finally pulls the big fella down at the 14-yard line. McMichael's gone for 29 and now 8 yards. All passes. 2nd down and 2 now at the Tech 14.
Tech had the blitz on that time, and they almost got Daryl Smith, I think, to him. But it was Lawston that came in there. But he got the ball off, Phillips did, and McMichael made another sensational catch, got the ball inside the 15 of Tech.
Gary and Edwards to the left. McMichael and Reggie Brown to the right. Corey Phillips just simply trying to sneak for the 1st down. And I think he may have it at the 12. Needed a full 2. And we'll see how they unstack Daryl Smith and Brian Corinth. So 1st and 10 at the Tech 12. Or the 11. Let's call it the 11.
Line of scrimmage is just inside the Tech 12.
So the ball's at the 11-yard line. It's 27-15 with 11:28 to play. Tech by 12 points. Damian Gary will go left. Reggie Brown, Terrence Edwards to the right. Phillips from a shotgun. Looks to throw. Now being chased out of the pocket. Throws to the end zone and threw it out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Nick Rogers was chasing it. So it's 2nd down and 10 at the Tech 11. Clock stops with 11:08 to play. And boy, is it going to be a long 11:08.
Good play by Phillips that time. A lot of time. Tech's defensive coverage was excellent. Scrambled to the left. Nick Rogers bearing down on him. He just threw it out of the end zone. Incomplete. Tech at
8-2. Georgia at 7-3 overall. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Again, Phillips will work from a shotgun. Snap to him. Straight drop. Looks, throws. That ball's deflected and then broken up by Myers. Gathers got a handle on it, and then Myers broke it up on the pass intended for McMichael. It's 3rd down and 10 now. So somehow or another, Kim, you always have matchups where schools can find tendencies of each other. Tech, I think, has found a variety of tendencies in Georgia, and Georgia just uses tight ends, and they feast, it seems sometimes. The tight ends just go haymaker against Tech, it seems like. Yeah, those 2 guys can run, McMichael and John. They can really run, and Georgia's taking advantage of it. Again, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Here's Phillips sprinting to his right, going to throw back. And Edwards slipped one, but won't go much further than that. Nick Rogers wrapped him up. And the play actually goes for no gain on the play. So on 4th down and 10, I think Billy Bennett's going to be asked to cover the rest of this.
It won't, Wes. They'll go for it because if they score here and go for 2, they still will be short with a field goal. So they got to get 2 touchdowns here. Those 2 extra point plays loom big right now.
Yes, they do. Good point, Kim. So the ball is 4th and 9 at the Tech 10. Georgia 5 of 12 now on 3rd down today. Phillips with 3 to the right. Snap to him from the shotgun. He'll throw to the end zone. Incomplete. He threw it behind Reggie Brown. Jamar Clark was there in coverage.
Phillips' pass is incomplete, intended for Brown.
Well, Kim, we're going to see where that goes. That is 8 plays run by the Bulldogs, and they turn it over on downs.
Big stand for Tech after giving Georgia a 1st down on a Corey Phillips quarterback sneak at the 11. Tech's defense holds there, and 10-13 to go in this football
Georgia
game.
Tech. Let's pause. 10-second station identification on the Georgia Tech ISP Sports Network.
He's back, and it's about time. Tom Hughes in Atlanta's First News.
Mornings 5:30 to 9.
The best way to get your busy day underway on News Radio 640 GST.
From time to time this year, Kim, I said this is where the rubber meets the road. 27-15, Georgia Tech leading Georgia. The Bulldogs go for it on 4th and 9 at the Tech 10. The pass is incomplete. And now working from the noisiest part of the stadium, the Jackets have it 1st and 10 at their own 10.
Wes, this is where maybe Tech has to, at a minimum, use some time off this clock. It's been all Georgia this second half. They've got to move this ball, take some time off the clock, if not get some points.
Well, we'll see what happens. George Godsey is going to have Wilder and Burns behind him. Kelly Campbell to the near side with 2 tight ends. Straight eye. Give is Burns, right side. And he'll chug for about 3 or 4 out toward the 14 before Josh Millard
with the tackle.
Makes the stop. Young man, a redshirt junior out of Savannah. And late getting up was Brent Key, but he looks okay. 2nd down and 6 for Tech at its 14. Clock continues to move. 9:48, 47, 46 seconds to play in the ball game.
2nd and 7.
2nd down and 6. Burns the lone setback. Campbell and Glover the receivers. Georgia with 7 in the box. Godsey on a play action. Chased out of the pocket. He's going to throw downfield. Campbell's there, and it's broken up by Vieira.
With the breakup.
3rd down and 6 now.
Boy, Campbell got behind that time, and Godsey threw it flat, Wes. He didn't get a lot of air on the ball. If he gets a little air on it, maybe Campbell makes the catch, but the angle wasn't good on the throw, and Vieira made a great play to come over from the safety position and just knock it away.
Kelly was having to turn around and almost run backwards.
Georgia Tech 14.
Jackets have got to get beyond the 20 for a 1st down. 3rd down and 6. John Myers, Kelly Campbell, Will Glover are into the ball game. Godsey with Burns flanked to his right, back across the middle. That's caught. Myers, 1st down, Georgia Tech at the 24.
You know, John Myers, Wes, he doesn't dazzle you with his great receptions and all, but he's a key possession receiver. The senior that time just worked over the middle. Godsey waited till he found a little clearance in there with a linebacker drop coming from his right to his left underneath, and he was open, made a good catch and a big 1st down for Tech.
Boy, you're not kidding. Mark that one up and rack it, boys. That could end up being one of the bigger plays of the game. Single receivers left and right, 2 tights with Burns alone setback. 1st down is to give to Burns. He got a little running room. Peppered it across the 25, stretched it out to about the 27, maybe the 28. Tony Gilbert, the sophomore out of Central High School in Macon, Georgia's leading tackler coming into the ball game, makes the stop on Joe Burns.
3-yard gain, 2nd and 7.
They'll mark it at the 27, 2nd and 7. Clock continues to move. Kim, how big are the 2 timeouts used by Georgia in the 3rd quarter?
Could be a big factor in this ball game. They wasted them early in this half.
Campbell left, Myers right. Wilder's back in the game in front of Burns and AI. Off the near hash mark with a tight end to the right. They'll give it to Burns again. He changed directions on the play, got up into the gap across the 30 to about the 33. And if they give Burns the 33, that'll be a pickup of 6 and make it 3rd down at about a yard or so. Tony Gilbert again makes the stop. I want to see how they unstack it here. Well, they give him the 33. Yep, just inside the 33, so it's 3rd down and a yard. They got to go to almost the 35, so it's a yard and change. Foshie and Brian Lee have come in now as Tech uses the big heavy set here. Jackets out of there quick. Godsey gives. Burns to the right side, not going to get it. Tim Wansley led the charge for Georgia. And getting off first from the stack is Witherspoon.
And Wansley lead the stop.
So Tech is held up, and it's 4th down. 5 out of 15 are the Yellow Jackets. Clock moves with 7:10, and now they're going to punt. No gain on the play, so it's still 4th and a long yard.
Last time, West, Georgia went after the punt. They almost got there on Dyke.
Right.
Look for him to come after it this time.
Dyke in punt formation.
8 on the line for the Bulldogs. 2 gunners on the outside. They drop back. Dyke gets it away, and it's a spiral chasing Gary to the 20. Looking near side, got a block from Phillips. and not going to get away from the second wave at the 27-yard line, headed by Russell Matvey. The punt by Dyke goes 47 yards, and a decent return by Gary of 7, and a timeout on the field in Athens. 6:36 to go. 1st and 10 for Georgia at its 27 after U15. Don't forget, after the game, the UPS Locker Room Show, our Budweiser Play of the Game, and our Internet Security Systems Player of the Game, along with our Georgia Power Play of the Game. 1st and 10 for Georgia at its 27 with 6:36 to go. The Yellow Jackets leading the host Bulldogs 27-15. Damian Gary, Terrence Edwards to the left, Randy McMichael, Darrell Robinson here to the right. Snap is to Corey Phillips, dropping back, pressure, throws. That ball is deflected by Darrell Smith, incomplete. And who else are they looking for? Well, it was Terrence Edwards who was trying to squeeze downfield. 2nd down and 10 at the Georgia 27. Clock stops with 6:29 to go.
Good play by Darrell Smith that time from his inside backer position in the middle. Drop back. Reading Corey Phillips, saw that he was trying to go to Edwards Crossan, who had pretty good coverage on him, but Smith knocked it away, incomplete.
Corey Phillips will send Robinson and Gary left. Terrence Edwards with McMichael here to the right. Phillips from a shotgun with Milliken to his left, dropping straight back. Here comes the pressure, downfield, incomplete, looking for McMichael. Myers was there. Actually was beyond his reach. I tell you what, Corey Collins almost had a chance at a pick there, but momentum carried him away from the football behind that. So now it's quickly gone to 3rd and 10, Kim.
Georgia's trying to attack Tech's middle. That's where they've been successful with those tight ends. That time he was trying to hook up with his tight end across the middle, but a lot of white jerseys in there. Ball was thrown incomplete. Big play for both teams here.
6:23 to play. 27-15. Robinson, Gary, and McMichael all here to the far side. Here is Phillips dropping back out in the flat, and Gary caught it but fell down at the 34. T. Fox there in coverage. And now it is 4th down and 3 at the Georgia 34. And with 6:05 to go, the Bulldogs have to go for it.
They're going to. Wes, a big play here. 4th down and 3, and Jim Donnan behind. It's got to have 2 touchdowns to win this game. He's going for it.
Defense has held Tech's offense in check in this second half, but Coach Donnan going for it here. Snap to Phillips, throws. That's caught. Enough for the 1st down at the 39-yard line to Terrence Edwards. He just rifled a bullet on a slant to Edwards. And it keeps the drive alive. 5-yard pickup. 5:36 to play. It's 27-15. Todd Donnan signaling in the plays to Corey Phillips. 4-receiver package. Tech gets its signal from Ted Roof. Phillips looking right, dumps it out in the flat, caught by Gary, eludes one. Gary trying to stretch out of bounds and does so at the 44-yard line with Corey Collins forcing him out. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Clock stops with 5:20 to play. Tim, we don't have it readily in front of us here. I cannot recall Georgia running it in this second half.
They did a couple
but
times.
One time, Brett Milliken, Musa Smith ran it one time. That's it.
2 times.
And Corey Phillips snuck for another 3 times.
3 times.
2nd down and 5 for Georgia at its 44. 5:20 to play. 12-point lead for Tech. Phillips looking here to the near side. Oh, he threw it to Gary, and Chris Young stacked that up and dropped him back at the 40. Loss of 4 on the play. Makes it 3rd down and 9 now.
Bring up 3rd and 9.
Clock inside of 5 minutes to go. McMichael and Edwards will go to the left. Gary and Robinson here to the right. Phillips looking to throw, hurries, and it's caught near a 1st down by McMichael at the midfield stripe.
The 1st down at midfield.
So Randy McMichael catches yet another one. And let's see, they're going to measure. I think they are. So let's hold off on the 3rd down conversion. Clock stops with 4:35 to play.
Official timeout for measurement.
That was a big play that time by McMichael, who dove outside and made that catch. going to be just inches shy of the first down. So 4th down for Georgia in inches. They went for it a few plays ago on 4th down.
First down, Walker.
They'll go for it here.
Bring up 4th and inches.
They bring in Rader, Musa Smith, and Veron Haynes have come into the ball game. That's Georgia's short yardage package. Here comes Jermaine Phillips in now. And he's turning around telling one guy why he's going in while the other coach is waving him off. Phillips will be the blocker and H-back to the left side. Can't imagine this is much more than Corey Phillips sneaking. They'll give it to Musa Smith, and he's got the first down, crosses the midfield stripe. That's the 4th run of this second half by Georgia. Their second 4th down conversion on this possession.
It'll be 1st and 10, Georgia.
Tech 49-yard line. Clock starts, 4:15 to go. 4 receivers again. McMichael off the formation to the left. Here's the snap to Phillips. Tech only rushing 3 here. They're going deep for Robinson. Caught it out of bounds. Corey Collins was there. At the 21-yard line, Darrell Robinson, the partial qualifier out of Lyman, South Carolina, caught it out of bounds.
Boy, it was a great play by Robinson. He just, Fisher was right on top of it. He jumped out of bounds, Wes, and even though he was hit, if he came down straight without any hit, it's going to be incomplete. Good call by the official.
4:01 to play, 27-15. Terrence Edwards with Damian Gary to the left, McMichael and Robinson here to the right. Snap to Corey Phillips. Looks left, shoots it out there. Edwards cannot hang on, it's incomplete. He bobbled it under the coverage of Chris Young. It's 3rd down and 10.
Pretty good coverage by Chris Young that time. Edwards just did a little a little hitch pattern over there on the front of the Tech bench, but Young hit him. Ball had 2 chances to catch it, couldn't hold on to it.
So now it's 3rd down and 10 at the Tech 49. 3:55 to play. It's 27-15 in favor of Georgia Tech. Terrence Edwards will go to the left. Gary, McMichael, and Robinson here to the right. Here's Corey Phillips dropping back. Tech sends 4. Across the middle, and that's almost intercepted by Jeremy Myers. Intended for Terrence Edwards.
Pass is incomplete, intended over.
Georgia now 5 of 15 on 3rd down. 4th and 10 at the Tech 49 with 3:49 to play, and Jim Donnan calls Corey Phillips to him to make sure they've got the communication lines open on this play.
West, Felipe Claybrook's the referee. His 2nd time he's gone and talked to him about either taunting or a late hit or whatever. So keep your eye on that matchup. Jonas Jennings and Claybrook really going at it.
3 to the right, nobody left. Milliken, the only guy out there, flanked to the left of Phillips. Here comes the pressure. Phillips dropping back, backing up, throws. That is broken up by Darrell Smith. Intended for McMichael. Tech will take over. Georgia ran 12 plays before they cashed it in on downs with 3:41 to play. Timeout on the field. The Jackets 27, the Bulldogs 15, and they're headed for the exits. Now this on to play. The eye with Burns and Wilder. Campbell is the lone receiver to the right. 1st down. Give is to Burns on a cutback. Joe inside the 45 of Georgia to the 43. That is a pickup of 7, maybe 8. It is 2nd down and 2.
Now the clock is a big factor. Running at 3:23, and remember, Georgia used 2 timeouts. They threw them away early in this half. Once on a 2-point play, and then once later on in the 3rd quarter when they were trying to get substitutions into the game. So Tech's going to work that clock, try to get the 1st down.
Godsey with Wilder and Burns behind him. Campbell, the lone receiver, here to the left side against Wansley. Another give. This is Burns plowing toward a 1st down, and I think he'll have it at the 40, and he does.
Burns.
Joe Frank Burns barrels for 2 more. 80 yards now on 22 carries unofficially. They only give Georgia Tech 8,500 tickets. Some of them are squeezed over there on the northwest corner in the lower deck. Most of them are sitting in Winder in the upper deck here today in the east end. But they're making their noise now. first down and 10 for Tech. The ball at the Bulldog 40. And with 2:45 to go, they flash an advertisement for Bulldog Hotline with Jim Donnan tomorrow night up on the video board. Check with game management. I formation again behind Godsey. Give is Burns. Joe just lowers his head at the 39. He'll be pushed back.
Burns.
Kendrell Bell.
To the 39.
David Jacobs.
Jacobs and Bell with the stop.
On the stop.
Clock down at 2:17 and running. And remember, again, Georgia only one timeout. They're going to take it right here.
So on second down and 9 at the Bulldog 39-yard line, Georgia uses its final timeout of the ball game. Two tights. Campbell is the lone receiver. Second down and 9 with 2:12 to play. They'll give it to Burns. Oh, and a great play by Biera, the safety who came blitzing in. And Joe loses a yard, so now it's third down and 10. But remember, the Bulldogs can't stop the clock.
And that clock is inside 2 minutes now. And Tech will keep milking that time down and try to punt the ball down inside the 20 if they shouldn't make the first down. I don't think Tech is going to put the ball up here. I think they'll just run it. Be content with the clock running down, probably get it down to a minute or so.
Maybe take the 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, sure.
I formation, two tights, Wilder and Burns behind Godsey again. Give it to Burns. Joe crossing back. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
Burns is tripped up by Sullivan.
And Jim Donnan saying, get off the field. Calling his team off the field. No gain on the play.
Clock at 1:17. Now the 25-second clock has been run west. Tech can take the penalty inside of a minute.
Yep.
Which is what they'll do, and Georgia will go after the block. So play clock is 15 seconds and counting. Game clock a minute 3. So Tech will get this thing run down inside of 60 seconds to about 51.
Let's check with Edgar Tragich quickly if we can.
Wes, quick ACC final. North Carolina State has defeated Wake Forest 32-14 this afternoon.
Wolfpack headed to the Micron PC Bowl, probably opposite Minnesota. Wake finishes 2-9, 1-7 in the league.
Delay of game on the offense.
State finishes the league at 4-4, 7-4 overall. Virginia Tech tonight will be the final regular season game involving an ACC team. 50 seconds left. It's 27-15 in favor of Georgia Tech on the Bulldogs, and Georgia will be trying to block this one all the way.
If you're Dan Dyke, you just want to kick it out of here. You don't care where it goes. Just get it out. Don't let it get blocked.
Alex Tedderton snaps to Dyke. And there's the punt. Wobbly kick coming near side for Damian Gary from the 13. Looking to make a move, and Gary got spun around, and 40 seconds left. 39 seconds to go. Kerry Watkins makes the tackle. 4 receivers. Corey Phillips to throw. Batted down Felipe Claybrooks.
How many times has Claybrooks over the course of the year made that play? 2 times today he's deflected passes. One that came on a crucial third down play earlier in this quarter, and they're trying to hit a real quick throw over there underneath, knock that one down.
Second down and 10. Clock stops with 34 seconds left. Ball at the 18-yard line. Here's Phillips dropping back near side, caught by Damian Gary and pushed out of bounds.
He didn't get out. He didn't get out, Wes.
No, he didn't. You're right. Did they give him out of bounds?
First down yardage.
No, he's in play. He's in the field of play.
Right. They just stopped the clock to move the chains. Most of this sellout crowd on this dreary overcast day is cleared out of here.
It is a quiet Georgia crowd.
The Bulldogs, who arguably had a chance to be in the Cotton Bowl with a win today, are probably headed down to the stockyard for the Music City Bowl. Corey Phillips to throw, 15 seconds left, and it's thrown behind the intended receiver, Terrence Edwards, incomplete. 10 seconds to go in the ball game. Georgia Tech is going to beat Georgia for the 3rd straight time since the early 1960s. And Kim, for the first time since the early 50s, the golden era of Tech football, the Jackets are going to win 2 out of the 3 in a row in Athens.
And Wes, talk about George O'Leary and his program. They're going to make an announcement on his contract next week probably, or the week after that. they've got a well-established program, and they're doing the things financially, I think, that'll keep him there for a long time.
Well, here's Corey Phillips with 9 seconds left, throwing out in the flat. That is caught by Edwards, and at some point he's tackled in play, and that's probably the final play of the game, and it is. Georgia Tech has beaten Georgia by a final of 27-15. The Yellow Jackets will finish the regular season at 9-2, headed to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl on the 29th of December to face more than likely South Carolina, with an outside shot, I would believe, at Tennessee, depending on how the Southeastern Conference passes their bowls along. Kim, it'll be interesting to see, but college football in this state may have taken a turn today.
Could have, Wes. Big game for Georgia Tech, coming in here to win 3 in a row and to win 2 of the last 3 up here in Athens. Want to thank our crew for a great year, Wes. We've had some great people up here. Al Serraldo Jr., Tommy Barber. Miller Polk does one of the great jobs as engineer up there and producer, and so many people have helped us. Edgar Traget's back in the station. Been great working with those guys. Look forward to doing it again next year.
Well, the Peach Bowl on December the 29th will have full programming and coverage of the 33rd Peach Bowl. The Yellow Jackets winning today by a final of 27-15. Stay tuned. The highlights and totals are coming up, followed by the UPS Locker Room Show. But here today in Athens, Tech has got the three-peat. Back after this on the Georgia Tech.
Tom Hughes in Atlanta's First News. Mornings 5:30 to 9. The best way to get your busy day underway on News Radio 640 GST.
Well, we've got much to get to in our UPS Locker Room Show upcoming with Wes Durham inside the Tech locker room, the Tech players and coaches. Back in 1998, the Jackets over Georgia 21-19 in Athens. In Atlanta last year, 51-48. This season, just moments ago, the final is in. Georgia Tech over Georgia once again, the final of 27-15. Let's go back out to Athens and Sanford Stadium with Kim King.
Edgar, big win for Georgia Tech. 3 in a row, first time since 1961 through 63 for Tech that they've done that. And the last time Tech has won back-to-back games here at Sanford Stadium, you have to go back to the golden era of Bobby Dodd football in the 50s. So George O'Leary and his football team go 9-2 for the season. Georgia drops back to 7-4. Tech, of course, finished ACC play last week 6-2, second place in the conference. Georgia 5-3 in SEC play. Big win for George O'Leary and Georgia Tech. Let's recap the scoring. First half, it was all Georgia Tech. Took a 27-3 lead into the locker room. Second half, though, all Georgia. Georgia came back and got 12 of their 15 points in that second half. Let's look at the scoring plays in the first quarter on Tech's opening possession. They went 82 yards in only 5 plays. George Goose Godsey ran an option keeper, 33 yards, uncontested for a touchdown. That came with 13:24 to go in the game. Just a little bit over a minute and a half. Tech took out a 7-0 lead on Georgia. Then after Georgia's Corey Phillips was back to throw, Corey Collins, Tech's safety on a blitz, came through, hit him, knocked the ball loose. Ricardo Wimbush recovered at the Georgia 47. 10 plays later on third down, Kerry Watkins caught an 8-yard Godsey pass in the end zone for a touchdown. With 7:14 to go in the first quarter, it was Tech 14, Georgia nothing. Tech wasn't through, though. 58 seconds to go in the first quarter after 11-play drive. Started from the Tech 12, stalled at the Georgia 25. Luke Monge came in, kicked the first of 2 field goals for him. This one a 42-yarder. It was Tech 17, Georgia nothing at the first quarter. Then Georgia got on the boards. Billy Bennett kicked a 23-yard field goal. This came with 10:49 to go down in the second quarter. And Georgia, after they got a first and goal on that drive at the Tech 5, on first down, Musa Smith was dropped for a yard loss to the 6. Phillips threw 2 incomplete passes. Bennett kicked a 23-yard field goal, so Tech's defense bowed its back, kept Georgia out of the end zone. It was Tech 17, Georgia 3, with 10:49 to go in the second period. Monge got another 3 points for Tech. This came after the Jackets went from their midfield stripe down to the Georgia 4 on fourth down. Tech elected to kick the field goal. Monge's kick was good from 21 yards, made it Tech 20, Georgia 3. And then later, with only a minute to go in half, probably the biggest play of the football game, at least for Tech, on third and short at the Tech 35-yard line. Darrell Smith picked off a Corey Phillips pass, went 70 yards for a touchdown. The point after was good. It made it Tech 27, Georgia 3. That's the way the teams went in the locker room. And then in the third quarter, it was all Georgia. Tech could not slow them down. Tech couldn't do anything offensively. Georgia got 2 touchdown passes from Corey Phillips. One, Damian Geary, a 37-yard pass on a third down play, capped a 9-play, 84-yard drive. Georgia went for 2, and on that 2-point try, they called timeout, used one of their 3. Later on in that quarter, they burned another one, and Georgia really had their backs to the wall using 2 of those 3 timeouts early in that third quarter. But going back to the score for Gary, the 37-yarder, that closed the gap to Georgia Tech 27, Georgia 9. Then later in the quarter, third quarter, on the next possession for Georgia, they went 88 yards in 10 plays. Randy McMichael caught a 4-yard touchdown pass. That came with 4:12 to go in the third quarter. But again, the 2-point try was no good. Tech's defense held. It was Tech 27, Georgia 14. And then later in the fourth quarter, after neither team could score, probably the biggest drive in the football game in that fourth quarter, Georgia took over with 13:10 to go at their 31. They drove all the way down to the Tech 11-yard line where they got a first down. But on a first down play, Phillips threw incomplete 2 consecutive passes. On third down, Edwards trying the tunnel screen, only made a yard to the 10, and then Phillips threw incomplete. Tech held, and that was probably the key play in the game. Tech was able to get a little time off the clock as they moved it off of their 10-yard line up to the 33, ran the clock from 10:13 down to 6 minutes and 36 seconds before Dyke kicked a boomer, a 47-yarder, all the way back to the Georgia 27. Georgia could only manage to get up to the Tech 49-yard line, and about 12 plays ran the clock down to 3:41 on fourth down. Tech took over on downs at midfield with 3:41 to go, and they got a first down down to the Georgia 40. Then after Burns was tackled or made 1 yard to the 39, Burns lost a yard back to the 40. Burns again no gain on third down. With 50 seconds to go, Dyke kicked the ball, a 25-yard short kick, but Georgia's Gary took it at the 18 with only 39 seconds to go, and the clock simply ran out on Georgia. So for Tech, again, 3 in a row in this rivalry. Tech held on here in the second half, beat Georgia 27-15. So a big one for Georgia Tech and George O'Leary. Again, 9-2 season for Tech. Many people predicted only 6-5. A lot of the writers said this would not be a good Georgia Tech football team. One of them kept saying he wasn't going to pick Tech to win this game today, but certainly they proved their critics wrong. 9-2 for Tech, 7-4 for Georgia. Let's go down the locker room in that happy Georgia Tech dressing room, West Durham.
Kim, you can imagine this place is up for grabs down here. They just presented the Governor's Trophy again to the Yellow Jackets for the third consecutive year. Goose, congratulations. I know this one is very big.
Oh, it is. I mean, this is big for recruiting and especially for moral of the team. You can't go through a season without beating Georgia, and I think that's great for everyone's thrilled. I'm sure the fans are too. And Tech's back.
Did you sense at all during this entire game, maybe in the second half, how important the big picture was? You sounded like a crafted veteran there for a moment.
Well, I think that at the start of the second half, I think that we sputtered a little bit offensively, but the defense played a whale of a game. They kept us in the game, and what they did was control the line of scrimmage. And you got to give Georgia hats off in the second half. They played a heck of a game as far as the second half goes. The first half we kind of rolled through them, but I expect them to make some changes.
Georgia, a little wrinkle on that option keeper, that 33-yard touchdown. You put a man in motion to the left, and then you came back on the counter and ran the option. Tell us about that play.
Well, it really wasn't a wrinkle. I think you've seen Joe Hamilton do that about 3 or 4 times last year, and it just happened to be number 11 back there, and probably a whole second slower in the 40. But other than that, it was just I think they blew an assignment, and there I went to the end zone. I mean, 2 touchdowns, 2 weeks. What's going on?
I mean, your second rushing score in life, right?
I know. I didn't know what to do when I was running that free. I just felt like, I was happy to get in the end zone.
Kim?
George, one play particularly in that first half, you had Campbell got behind coverage. You laid the ball up there perfectly, but he was trying to make that adjustment down there inside the 10, just couldn't make it. That's a touchdown if he makes the catch, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's some setbacks in this game. I mean, we're going to learn a lot from watching this film. I think when you go away, one thing you have to do is stick together, and with the defense playing hard and the offense fighting their tails off, I think we did stick together as a team, and teams win a lot of games, and we won 9 this year.
You guys are now got a real marker to shoot for in the Peach Bowl. You obviously know you can become one of the few teams in Tech history to win 10 if you win the game.
Exactly. I think, we're going to face another good SEC team, and they're going to be ready. We just have to be focused like we've been all year and take it one game at a time. And this happens to be the last game, and I'm sure the seniors will be fired up, and the captains will get everyone ready for this game.
All right, Goose, thanks a lot. We're going to let George step away because the young man from Albany is standing by here, Darrell Smith, who played in this game today like he was a crafted veteran, not a true freshman. And first of all, congratulations. Darrell Smith's our Internet Security Systems Player of the Game, Kim, and I think well deserved.
Great football game by Darrell Smith, and Darrell had that 70-yard interception return. If Darrell is there with you, Wes, like to hear from him exactly what happened on the play, Darrell.
Well, I was just
Well, all you do is drop back and you pick off passes, huh?
I was just drop back, and I seen somebody took the ball and I just ran up under it, and I didn't think I was gonna take it all the way back.
Did you get a block out there somewhere? I guess so, and you outran one of the big tight ends.
Yeah.
Kim?
How about the defensive effort today? You came out in the first half, you stuffed the run. Georgia knew they couldn't run the ball, only had 12 yards rushing against you in that first half. But then in the second half, they were throwing the ball, and they really had you guys on your heels in the third quarter, but you made some pretty good stands there late in the game.
Yeah, in the first half, we pretty much shut them down. Second half, they came out. They just dumped the ball to number 86, the tight end. He made a lot of good plays, and we just made some adjustments and just finally shut it down, too.
Darrell, how important is it to win this game? You're a state guy. You grew up in Albany and so forth, and now in Atlanta. To see Tech win the last two, to come in here today to get the third win, which really kind of, puts you guys in the history book, so forth, in terms of the series.
Yeah, I feel, I feel proud to be a part of this team, and it just, I don't know.
Darrell, Coach George O'Leary, when they asked him about the success of this team and why were they so good, why were you guys so good finishing up 9-2, he said because they like each other. Do you feel like that's been a big factor for your team this year?
Oh, yes. It's chemistry. Everybody, we help out each other. We're just good friends.
You excited about the bowl game in Atlanta, I guess, huh?
Oh, yes, sir. In our hometown.
Darrell, thanks for the visit. Congratulations. He's our Internet Security Systems Player of the Game, and before we're done here, he's probably going to have our Budweiser Play of the Game, and we may have a trifecta today from Darrell Smith. Kim, we'll stand by. We'll have Coach O'Leary here in just a few moments. I'm going to go ahead, though, and send it back to Edgar Tragetz in the studio.
Okay, Wes, Kim, thank you much. We'll be back with much more from Wes, Kim in the locker room in just a couple of minutes. Georgia Tech over Georgia this afternoon from Sanford Stadium in Athens. Final of 27-15.